From a tribe to an empire. Rest video is purement para intratnamento wino infringed de recos de autor aniles. Los de recos de la novela while la imagen del autor original, no reclamamos propiedad. Note gusta esperar y quieres escuchar este fanfic completo ahora. Suscríbete a nuestro Patreon, donde encontrarás los mejores fanfics. Chapter 51. Alliance Request, Flatly Rejected. Let's talk about Qin Yan. After checking the properties of the blueprint, Qin Yan immediately ordered. Immediately build a giant crossbow and explosive trap! Yes, Lord. After arranging the new construction task, Qin Yan slightly turned the Pluto ring in his hand. After the territory was upgraded to a village, all buildings have been upgraded to platinum level. Qin Yan is the Lord. What kind of changes have taken place in the functions of various buildings in the territory? He naturally wants to know everything. Lord. But at this moment, Brian suddenly came to him. The Queen of the Forest Elves is waiting outside the territory, saying that there is something important to discuss with you. The Queen of the Forest Elves suddenly wants to see me? Qin Yan was extremely surprised at first, but then his expression instantly became cold. Sure enough, it must be the news of the mithril vein that has been leaked. In his previous life, Qin Yan had dealt with the elves. But the result was not satisfactory. Qin Yan was very dissatisfied with the attitude shown by the elves at the time, and even had a slight feeling of disgust in his heart. Because those elf girls were too arrogant. As creatures who believe in the goddess of nature, the elves must always behave incomparably noble and sacred, which I can understand. Looking at the elf girls who appeared outside the territory, Qin Yan couldn't help but frown slightly. But their ideas are not realistic at all. In his previous life, Qin Yan's plan was to cooperate with the elves to jointly capture the next monster forest. At the time, Qin Yan's purpose of capturing the monster forest was just to obtain a specific resource necessary for the development and construction of a territory. Cooperating with the elves can minimize losses. And in order to maintain a good long-term cooperative relationship, Qin Yan didn't want anything except that special resource. All of them were given to the elves. But who would have thought? The answer that the elf queen gave to Qin Yan was actually this. How could we, the noble elves, join forces with you humans? With almost no hesitation, Qin Yan led the army and captured the monster forest alone that day. Although the loss was heavy, many precious resources were obtained. Then Qin Yan relied on these precious resources to rapidly develop and build the territory, and finally led a powerful army to directly flatten the elf tribe. All the elf girls in it were subdued as slaves. It can be said that after that incident, Qin Yan's impression of the elves was completely bad. As a result, now the sacred and noble elf queen actually took the initiative to come to the territory and said she wanted to see Qin Yan. The first thing that Qin Yan thought of was that the elves learned about the mithril veins and wanted to share a piece of the pie, and even threatened with force to let Qin Yan take the initiative to hand over the occupation of the mithril veins. But how is this possible? How can there be any reason to hand over something that is in the bag? If this is really the purpose of the elf queen, let Brian lead the way. Qin Yan immediately made a decision. Then I don't mind declaring war directly. Soon, under Brian's guidance, Trisna and several elf girl guards gradually appeared in Qin Yan's sight. Brian. Feeling the strong magical aura in Trisna's body, Qin Yan secretly sent a message. If there is any abnormality, you'll take action directly. Yes. Qin Yan still knows that it is better to capture the leader first. Besides, he had fought with the elves in his previous life and knew that it would be extremely difficult to capture them if the elves returned to the forest. Qin Yan would never miss such a good opportunity now. At this time, Trisna also slowly came to Qin Yan. But the next moment, Trisna's attitude was slightly beyond Qin Yan's expectations. Dear human lord, you can develop the territory to such a scale in such a short time, and produce such a powerful wolf cavalry corps. Even the noble elves like us are completely ashamed of ourselves. Tell the truth. This sentence is not flattery, but comes from Trisna's heart. Originally, when she set out from the elf tribe, Trisna was still a little scared. After all, according to intelligence, this human city will never appear for more than a month. Although I heard that the speed of the territory's development is extremely terrifying. But no matter how fast it is, how far can it develop in less than a month? So Trisna did not hold a particularly high hope for the idea of winning over Qin Yan to fight against the orc army together. She was just unwilling to lead her people to evacuate the quiet forest where they had lived for a long time, and finally come to this human territory to gamble. But after observing all the way, Trisna felt that her previous thoughts. It was simply wrong. Territory resources may be scarce. Who can tell me what's going on with the densely packed and various buildings in this human territory in front of me, and the countless arrow towers standing outside the territory? Those human territories that have been developed and constructed for half a year or even a whole year don't seem to have built so many buildings. Also, the territory army may be insufficient in number and weak in strength. Who can tell me what's going on with the wolf cavalry corps stationed outside the territory? The breath exuded by those soldiers is even more terrifying than that of the orcs. The wolves they rode on were many times stronger than the elven druids. And the most terrifying thing was the armor worn by those wolf riders. Even Trisna, just by observing with the naked eye, could not be sure what material it was made of. You know, Trisna is the queen of the forest elves. The material of the armor that even she could not confirm. How precious and rare must it be? And all of the above combined. This looks like a human territory that has only been built for less than a month. At this moment, Trisna was shocked. And if Trisna knew that today was only the second day of Qin Yan's construction of the territory. Then Trisna didn't know what to say. Of course, let's get back to the point. In fact, when Trisna sighed, she was still secretly happy. Since the comprehensive strength of the human city in front of her was so strong. Doesn't that mean as long as they can establish an alliance with it, the elf tribe will no longer need to worry about the orc army. There is no need to withdraw from the quiet forest. Human lord. Thinking of this, Trisna couldn't help but speak again. In the name of the Queen of the Forest Elves, I will form an alliance with you to jointly protect. I refuse. But before Trisna could finish her words, Qin Yan interrupted her directly. Chapter 52. A New Plan. Why? Hearing Qin Yan's answer, Trisna's eyes were filled with disbelief. She had never expected that the human lord in front of her would answer like this. You have to know that her identity is the sacred and noble Queen of the Forest Elves. Not to mention being able to form an alliance with the Forest Elves. Even in the simplest communication, those humans in the past all showed an extremely humble attitude. But now, she hasn't even finished her words. The human lord in front of her actually refused directly. For a moment, Trisna couldn't say a complete sentence at all. At the same time, the several elf girl guards around Trisna also spoke one after another. Do you know that the orc army has assembled and may launch an attack on the entire quiet forest at any time? Even my noble elves are not absolutely sure that the catapults carried by the orcs can be resisted, so how can you humans resist it? The queen wants to form an alliance with you with good intentions, but you directly refuse. Do you know that you are seeking your own death? That's right. If you don't form an alliance with us, you will eventually be destroyed. The emotions of the elf girl guards were extremely excited. They couldn't understand why the human lord in front of them refused so decisively. After all, the humans they had contacted in the past. Even the entire human race. Aren't they all cowardly and ordinary people? Faced with the interrogation of the elf girl guards, Qin Yan shook his head helplessly. I, Qin Yan, will solve the future troubles myself, so you noble elves don't have to worry about it! Besides, I will never allow my soldiers to sacrifice for anyone other than me. After a pause, Qin Yan continued to act. Afterwards, without any other extra words, Qin Yan turned around and left. Everyone. Brian, behind him, also tightened his grip on the hilt of his sword. Please go back. But the elf girl guards wanted to keep them, but the powerful aura emanating from Brian's body made them dare not move forward at all. My queen, helplessly, they could only return to Trisna, but the latter seemed to have not come back to her senses yet, staring straight at Qin Yan's back as he left, muttering something in her mouth, which made the elf girl guards a little at a loss for a moment. Qin Yan. Until Qin Yan's figure completely disappeared, Trisna gradually came back to her senses, and then said softly, "Everyone evacuates the quiet forest today." After saying this, Trisna seemed to have put down a heavy burden, and breathed a sigh of relief. "Let's go." Stopped the elf girl guards who wanted to say something else. Trisna turned around and left first. But her always noble and sacred figure. At this moment, she looked extremely lonely. Let's talk about Qin Yan. After turning around and leaving, Qin Yan directly turned the Pluto ring and returned to the Lord's castle. Is the orc army already transporting catapults? Lying on the soft bed, Qin Yan touched his chin. No wonder Trisna was so excited when she saw me. In the previous life, Qin Yan was more familiar with the two major races, the orcs and the elves. Although the orcs have powerful power, it is difficult for them to play their due advantages in the forest with complex terrain. And their huge size makes the orcs directly become the target of the elf archer girls. But if the orcs transport the orc catapults to the front line of the battlefield, then the situation will change directly. After all, The power of the orc catapults is extremely amazing, and it is a real siege weapon. As long as the orcs surround and protect the catapults, the elves will have no way to deal with it. They can only watch the natural barrier being destroyed bit by bit, and then the territory buildings under the barrier are smashed to pieces by the boulders. Qin Yan lay on the bed and analyzed calmly. He remembered the major battles between the orcs and the elves in his previous life. The orc commanders relied on the perfect use of catapults to repeatedly defeat the elves' troops. But that was for the forest elves. Sitting up straight, Qin Yan's eyes flashed. After being equipped with my thrill armor, the wolf cavalry corps is now as powerful as the orcs, and its agility is even more amazing. The orc troops can defeat the forest elf tribe with catapults. But if the orc leaders still intend to use this trick to deal with Vailina, then Qin Yan will let the wolf cavalry tear those catapults to pieces. No, I heard that a catapult consumes a lot of resources to build each one. Thinking of this, Qin Yan couldn't help but curl up his mouth slightly. After the orc troops move all the catapults to the front line of the battlefield and completely destroy the elf tribe, I may be able to directly send out the wolf cavalry corps to take all these catapults in the chaos. Then, Qin Yan immediately teleported to Brian. Lord. The latter immediately knelt on one knee, with an extremely respectful attitude. Brian, you go and secretly keep an eye on the orcs' catapults, and come back to report to me immediately when there is a suitable opportunity. Nodding with satisfaction, Qin Yan slowly said, I plan to let the wolf cavalry take this opportunity to snatch all the catapults. Yes. Brian immediately went into the dense forest after agreeing. With the huge size of the orcs. Looking at Brian's gradually disappearing figure, Qin Yan thought to himself, it is estimated that it will not take long to move all the catapults and boulders to the front line of the battlefield. And by that time. It is only a matter of time before the elves are defeated. Recalling Trisna's unbelievable look and the answer given by the elf queen in the previous life, Qin Yan looked indifferent. It seems that only the defeat of the war can make those arrogant elves really see the world clearly. To be honest. When Qin Yan heard Trisna's request for an alliance just now, he refused without even thinking about it. Alliance? Are you kidding me? If the Mithril armor had not been produced, it might have been difficult for the wolf cavalry corps to defeat the beastmen. But now, it can be easily suppressed. In this case, does Qin Yan still need to form an alliance with the elves? After the elves who were resisting stubbornly have consumed the energy of the beastmen, I will directly let the wolf cavalry corps into the field to harvest! Isn't it beautiful? Chapter 53. The overall combat power has been greatly improved. Drawings of houses, farms, wells, arrow towers, refugee shelters, city walls, shooting range, stone roads, tailor shops, lumber yards, clinics, barracks, Warcraft Research Institute, Warcraft crits, static barriers, livestock farms, giant crossbows, explosive traps, etc. The above dozens of drawings are all complete drawings. Now all resources in the territory are extremely abundant. As long as Qin Yan wants, he can build unlimited quantities. During the time when Brian brought back the news, I can just go and see what changes have taken place in the functions of these buildings after they were upgraded to platinum level. Thinking of this, Qin Yan immediately twisted the Pluto ring and began to patrol the territory. Platinum level arrow town new function. Air shooting. The crossbow arrows fired have strong penetration and can cause additional damage to a unit. Note. The air lethality has been enhanced, which can pose a greater threat to air forces. Battle power score plus 2000. Platinum level city wall new function. Thorn plating. When the enemy attacks the city wall, 20% of the damage caused will be rebounded to the target in the form of magic damage. Note. Added rebound damage, the enemy will suffer when attacking the city wall. Battle power score plus 2000. Platinum level barracks new function. Heavy attack. Soldiers can master powerful martial arts at birth, and can cause double damage to the enemy when released. Note. Improve the combat ability of soldiers, and greatly increase damage output. Battle power score plus 1500. Platinum level shooting range new function. Armor piercing arrow. Martial arts mastered by archers during training, there is a high chance of directly breaking the enemy's armor when released. Note. Archers have a chance to destroy the enemy's armor and help teammates suppress the enemy. Battle power score plus 1500. Platinum level medical clinic new function. Constitution pills. Newly developed, can enhance physical attributes after taking, and can last for a long time. Note. Overall enhance the physical fitness of the army, the effect is very powerful. Battle power score plus 3000. Platinum level blacksmith shop new function. Sharp spear. a new weapon with strong penetration ability, can be carried for both long-range and short-range combat. Note: the spear has amazing lethality and can be carried for both long-range and short-range combat, which greatly enhances the overall combat effectiveness of the army. Battle Power Score plus 2000. Platinum level Warcraft Research Institute new function. Attribute improvement. The overall attributes of the Warcraft researched by the Magic Core will become more powerful. Note: the abilities of the Warcraft produced in the Institute have been significantly improved. Battle Power Score plus 1500. Platinum level Static Barrier new function. Thunder Light Curtain. Thunder magic energy will form an invisible light curtain above the territory, which can withstand a large number of attacks. Note: the shield that automatically emerges when the territory is about to be attacked can protect the buildings in your territory from damage. Battle Power Score plus 3000. After inspecting the entire territory, even Qin Yan couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Just now, he carefully checked all the buildings and building properties in the territory. And the result also made Qin Yan very satisfied. All buildings and functions have been greatly improved on the original basis. Especially some buildings related to combat. For example, buildings such as arrow towers, city walls, and static barriers have triggered new functions that provide powerful combat power bonuses. If anyone dares to attack the city again, it will simply be a way to death. Suspended above Valina, overlooking everything below, Qin Yan's eyes were full of heat. After all, you have to know that this is only the second day of Qin Yan's construction of the territory. No, it hasn't even been 2 days. The overall scale and overall foundation of the territory are already so strong. And if I can maintain this speed and continue to develop, maybe before other players enter the game, I will really build Valina into an indestructible and invincible empire. Landing early, plus lucky invincibility. Qin Yan is full of confidence in himself. Moreover, when checking the building properties just now, Qin Yan also went offline to the toilet, and then found that the number of unsold game helmets on the official website of Age of Empires was still 99,999. This feeling of no one competing for resources made Qin Yan feel comfortable. Of course, Qin Yan would not relax at all because of this. Because he noticed that for some reason, the promotion of Age of Empires in major software became more and more frequent. In other words, it may not take too long for players to enter the game one after another. However, Qin Yan did not feel particularly anxious about this. After all, when others reach my level, I have already entered a higher level. Besides, the arrival of players is not something he can change. Instead of being extremely anxious about this, it is better to seize the time and expand the territory more quickly to monopolize all the cakes on the continent of Age of Empires. This is what Qin Yan really wants to do in his heart. And just as Qin Yan was thinking, a small black dot suddenly appeared in his sight. Oh? Brian is back. After seeing the identity of the person, Qin Yan immediately twisted the Pluto ring and disappeared in midair. Brian, thank you for your hard work. When he appeared again, Qin Yan was already in front of Brian. How is the battle going? Report to the Lord. After being slightly distracted, Brian immediately knelt on one knee. After the Forest Elf Queen's request for an alliance was rejected by you, she immediately returned to the tribe and led the tribe to leave the quiet forest. I didn't expect that the arrogant elves would also take the initiative to bow their heads. After a slight teasing, Qin Yan asked, so you mean that they have all left the quiet forest now? Not really. At this time, Brian's expression became more serious. Lord, those conceited elves thought they could evacuate successfully, but they didn't expect that the orcs had already established a defense line at the edge of the forest, and those weak elf girls couldn't break through successfully. Oh? Qin Yan was a little surprised when he heard this, but soon calmed down. In this case, wouldn't the forest elves return to the territory again? You are worthy at being the Supreme Lord. Hearing Qin Yan's words made Brian's eyes light up, and then he continued to report. You arrived. In order to avoid being attacked from both sides, the self-righteous elves can only withdraw to the territory and barely rely on the natural barrier outside the territory to fight against the orc army. But just now the orcs have transported catapults to the front line of the battlefield, and the natural barrier has begun to break down. After a pause, Brian spoke again. According to my estimation, the number of survivors in the elf tribe is estimated to be no more than 30%. Chapter 54. S-level mission, assist the elves. The speed of the rat is a bit fast. Qin Yan couldn't help but slightly shocked when he heard it. But this is exactly what I want. Then, without any hesitation, Qin Yan immediately ordered the wolf cavalry corps stationed around the territory to prepare to set off. Yes, Lord! Anyway, with the development speed of Vailina, it won't be long before we will definitely meet the orc troops in the quiet forest. After giving the order, Qin Yan looked towards the depths of the quiet forest, as if his eyes could directly penetrate the dense forest. Now take advantage of the chaos to plunder all the catapults, which can greatly reduce the overall combat power of the orc army. When the snipe and the clam fight, the fisherman benefits. Since the war between the orcs and the elves is inevitable. Then Qin Yan will never miss this opportunity to act as a fisherman. Lord. At this time, Brian came to Qin Yan and reported, "The wolf cavalry corps is ready!" Okay. He nodded, and then Qin Yan slowly raised his arm. "Then now, let's go!" Roar. As soon as the voice fell, the wolf cavalry corps, which had been ready for a long time, roared and rushed out. At this moment, the agile wolf cavalry turned into black ghosts and went into the dense forest. Before Qin Yan gave the order, they would not easily expose their positions. But when Qin Yan captured the enemy's weakness, then the wolf cavalry corps will completely kill everyone. Soon. Under Brian's leadership, everyone arrived at the target location. Lord. Coming to Qin Yan, Brian reported. "The elf tribe is in front!" Yeah. Nodding, Qin Yan ordered the army to rest on the spot, and then said in a deep voice, "Brian, take me to the front to see the battle situation." Yes, Lord. With a promise, Brian took the lead and opening the way. Qin Yan followed slowly under the protection of the elite guards. Entering the dense forest, the mess appeared in front of him. The ground cracked, and the trees that several people could not hug fell in the middle of the road. Hanging on the branches were skeletons with skin and flesh. The bodies of the elf girls were bloody. The destruction left by the war was everywhere. Bang! 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 At this time, the dull and loud noises like war drums came one after another, and even the earth was shaking slightly, which made people feel heavy. Lord, these sounds are made by the orc catapults. Yeah. Nodding, Qin Yan couldn't help but exclaimed, "The catapult is worthy at being a siege weapon." Of course, he knew that the only one that could cause such a powerful force was the orc catapult. Each catapult required more than 3 orcs to work together to drag it. The boulders thrown out were also more than several thousand pounds. Even if the forest elves used natural magic to form a natural barrier on the surface of the territory, it would be difficult to completely resist it. Bang! 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 Sure enough, just as Qin Yan arrived at the battlefield from the orc camp, a whole row of boulders was thrown out again, leaving huge black shadows on the ground, and the momentum was extremely shocking. The next moment, this row of boulders, carrying an irresistible terrifying force, smashed into the elf tribe along a parabola. Boom! 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 The boulders fell, and the buildings in the elf tribe collapsed instantly. The elf girls hiding in them were smashed into meat paste on the spot without even a scream before death. What a bloody scene. It was like hell on earth. If other players saw this scene, let alone formulating tactics, they might be scared and log off the line on the spot. But Qin Yan was different. In his previous life, Qin Yan had personally experienced hundreds of battles of all sizes in order to survive. He had seen bloodier scenes than this countless times, so this hell-like scene in front of him did not make Qin Yan feel any discomfort. "You are worthy at being the supreme master." And the calmness shown by Qin Yan also made Brian and the guards around him admire him even more. Clang! 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 But the next moment, they drew their weapons at the same time. Then they gathered towards Qin Yan and surrounded Qin Yan tightly in the center. "Brian, don't be so nervous when facing an old acquaintance." But Qin Yan just smiled and waved. "What do you think, Honorable Queen?" As soon as the voice fell. Suddenly, there was a rustling sound in the jungle around him. The next moment, a blonde and blue-eyed elf girl emerged from the jungle. It was the queen of the forest elves, Trisna. But at this moment, Trisna's hair on her forehead was soaked with sweat, and her fair face was covered with a layer of dust that could not be wiped off. The exquisite leather armor on her body had lost the light golden luster that flashed when they met last time. The noble image when they met in the past has disappeared without a trace. There is only endless embarrassment. But it must be said that the elves are born beautiful. Even with a grey face, Trisna's every move contains an unconcealable elegance. Of course, Qin Yan had no wrinkles in his heart. Just like last time. After Trisna appeared, Qin Yan did not say anything extra, just stood there and looked at her quietly. After a stalemate, Trisna finally couldn't help but speak first. "Dear human lord, in the name of the queen of the forest elves, I ask for your help." As soon as the voice fell. Suddenly, a pleasant reminder sounded in Qin Yan's ears. Ding dong. "Do you accept the task issued by Queen of the Forest Elf Tribe Trisna, assist the elves?" Assist the elves. Task difficulty S level. Task content: help the elves in the quiet forest resist the invasion of the orcs. If the task is successful, you will gain the favor of the forest elves. The elves will regard you and your territory as allies and share resources with you. Task introduction: in the Empire era, the war between the elves and the orcs has never stopped on this continent, and in the quiet forest, the orc army has firmly suppressed the elves. Task tips: the forest elves are in a precarious situation. Please hurry up and make a decision. This task will automatically disappear after the expiration date. A series of task messages appeared in front of Qin Yan, but the meaning is very simple. If Qin Yan accepts the task and helps the forest elves defeat the beast army, he will gain the favor of the forest elves and be regarded as an ally by them. You can even share the resources of the forest elves. If this task was spread in the previous life, I'm afraid it would attract countless players to compete for it. After checking the task introduction, Qin Yan sighed slightly in his heart. But the next moment, he spoke directly and coldly. I refuse. Chapter 55. Surrender or die. I refuse. With almost no hesitation, Qin Yan spoke coldly. Just kidding. Valona now has abundant resources. It can fully meet any development and construction of the territory. As for the goodwill of the forest elves. To be honest. For Qin Yan now, it is completely useless. So Qin Yan didn't even think about it and chose to refuse directly. On the other side. Hearing Qin Yan's answer, Trisna's face turned pale. Bang. 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 But at this time, a dull sound suddenly came to my ears again. Then from the orc camp, huge rocks were thrown out again. Exclamation mark. Who can come to save me? Exclamation mark. I don't want to die yet. The screams of the elf girls were endless. But the heavy rocks in the sky showed no signs of stopping and continued to fall heavily towards the elf territory. Boom. 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 The boulder fell, and the screams stopped abruptly. The bodies of the elf girls were smashed to pieces. Dear human lord. Seeing this scene, Trisna's eyes suddenly turned red, and then she bit her lips and looked at Qin Yan. Trisna, in the name of the forest elves, asks for your help. The pleasant prompt sound came again. Ding dong. Do you accept the task, the request of the elf queen? The request of the elf queen. Task difficulty SS level. Task content: help the elves in the quiet forest resist the invasion of the beast tribe. If the task is successful, you will gain the favor of the forest elves. The elves will regard you and your territory as allies, and share resources, arms and technology with you, and even fight side by side with your soldiers. Task introduction. Task tips: can arms and technology be shared? After reading the task information, Qin Yan was slightly surprised. As far as Qin Yan knows, the strength of the forest elves is not weak. They have many powerful architectural drawings. For example, the ancient tree of war, the natural barrier, the tree of life, etc. And these buildings can produce many high-level arms. For example, horned hippogriffs, druids, chimeras, and even fairy dragons. These are powerful arms mastered by the elves. Even the most basic elves who collect resources are much stronger than human workers. In the past life, many players dreamed of getting in touch with the elves, hoping that one day they would be able to master these powerful arms and technologies owned by the elves. And now, this opportunity is in front of Qin Yan. To be honest, it would be a lie to say that the conditions you proposed are very tempting. Then, Qin Yan cleared his throat and spoke slowly. As the voice fell. Trisna's originally dim eyes suddenly lit up. When she arrived at Valona before. The majestic atmosphere exuded by the Wolf Cavalry Corps stationed on the outskirts of the territory has left a deep imprint in Trisna's heart. So she clearly understood. As long as the human lord named Qin Yan is willing to provide assistance to the forest elves, the beast army outside the territory will definitely be defeated instantly. And now. After proposing the conditions of sharing resources, arms and technology, the human lord in front of him finally showed his interest. How could this not make Trisna ecstatic? But the next moment, the words spoken by Qin Yan. The fire of hope that had just emerged in Trisna's heart was once again completely shattered. But it's still not enough. Motioning Brian and the others to move aside, Qin Yan slowly walked in front of Trisna and said in a condescending manner, I said that I would never allow my soldiers to sacrifice for anyone other than me. You can let me help the elves, but the premise is that you must take the initiative to surrender to me. Qin Yan's expression was extremely cold. Otherwise, everything is off the table. And it should have been so. Tell the truth. Qin Yan worked hard to develop and build the territory, and then produced the Wolf Cavalry Corps. Why should he fight for your elves? The Wolf Cavalry Corps can indeed suppress the beast troops now, but who can guarantee that there will be no casualties? Anyway, it is the elves who are suffering now. Qin Yan did not let the wolf riders take advantage of the chaos to capture a few elf girls and take them back as slaves, which was already very good. In the end, the elves still wanted Qin Yan to fight for them. What virtue and ability? It was simply a daydream. In short. Now Qin Yan gave Trisna only two choices. Either surrender or die. Either of the two. There will be no third option. This is what Qin Yan meant. Submission. As soon as Qin Yan finished speaking, Trisna in front of him was struck by lightning and fell to the ground, looking straight at Qin Yan. He opened his mouth but could not say a complete sentence. 1 minute. Ignoring Trisna who fell to the ground, Qin Yan turned around and retreated. 1 minute. If I don't hear a satisfactory result, then, returning to Brian, Qin Yan did not continue. But the guards clearly understood what Qin Yan meant, and immediately stepped forward to surround Trisna. If the other party showed any unusual movement, he would be killed on the spot by the guards. No mercy. Queen Anna! Your Majesty. But at this time. Several anxious shouts suddenly came from the jungle around him. Then, two elven girls came out. But as soon as the two girls appeared in front of everyone, tears suddenly burst out of Trisna's eyes. I saw two elven girls. One of them had lost her left arm. The other was in a more tragic situation. Although her limbs were still intact, her abdomen had been directly pierced by a spear. The wound was wrapped with a layer of leaves, but it could not stop the injury at all, and scarlet blood flowed out. And at this time, bad news came again. Bang. 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 The earth shook. I saw a whole row of boulders projected from the orc camp again, and then fell heavily towards the elven territory. This scene made Trisna completely collapse. After calming the emotions of the two elven girls, Trisna quickly walked to Qin Yan, and then knelt down on the ground in full view of everyone. Respected Lord Qin Yan. Kneeling on the ground, Trisna's attitude seemed extremely sincere. I am willing to lead all the tribesmen to follow your footsteps and unconditionally submit to you! Supreme Lord. The two elf girls behind Trisna knelt down directly to Qin Yan without any hesitation. Please allow us to follow you. As soon as the voice fell. Suddenly, pleasant system sounds rang in Qin Yan's ears one after another. Chapter 56. Conquering the Elves. The war begins. Dear Sir Qin Yan. Walking quickly to Qin Yan, Trisna knelt on the ground. I am willing to lead all my people to follow your footsteps and unconditionally submit to you. As soon as the words fell. Suddenly, pleasant system prompts came one after another. Ding dong. The Queen of the Forest Elves Trisna requests to join your territory. Do you accept? Ding dong. Since Trisna took the initiative to request to join your territory, the Forest Elves will unconditionally submit to you, and you don't need to worry about their betrayal. The system sounded, and Qin Yan's mouth corners rose slightly. Favorability and absolute submission are two completely different concepts. Only when there is a certain degree of favorability. If a powerful enemy attacks the player's territory, then the other party will not hesitate to terminate the alliance relationship, and even for the continuation of the race, it is not completely impossible to join forces with the enemy to attack the player's territory. This is also one of the reasons why Qin Yan initially rejected Trisna's request for an alliance. But joining the territory is different. If the player is strong enough, he can directly subdue the other party into the territory, or the other party will take the initiative to request to join the player's territory. Just like Trisna now. Take the initiative to request to join Qin Yan's territory and become a part of Valina. Then Qin Yan no longer needs to worry that Trisna and the Forest Elves will betray him. And this is what Qin Yan thought at the beginning. Accept. So, after the system sound came, Qin Yan nodded immediately without any hesitation. But. At the moment Qin Yan nodded. Trisna under him, as well as the two elf girls who were also kneeling on the ground, and the surviving tribesmen in the elf tribe not far away, all burst out with brilliant golden light. In the golden light, the contract was signed. At this moment, the forest elves in front of him all became Qin Yan's subordinates. At the same time, the pleasant system sound rang in his ears one after another. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for successfully gaining the right to occupy the Forest Elf tribe! Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for successfully gaining all the resources owned by the Forest Elves, as well as all the arms and technologies they master. A pleasant reminder sound rang out in succession. The next moment, several architectural drawings fell into Qin Yan's palm at the same time. These were all the architectural drawings currently owned by the Forest Elves. Tree of Life, Ancient Tree of Knowledge, Moonwell, Ancient Protector, Ancient Tree of War, Hunter Hall, Natural Barrier. Each drawing was intact. And it was shining brightly. This made Qin Yan excited. Because as mentioned before. As far as Qin Yan knew, the overall strength of the forest elves was still quite strong. Hippogriffs, druids, chimeras, tree spirits, and even fairy dragons. These were all high-level arms owned by the elves. The elf tribe in front of him could not compete with the orc army because the tribe was only in the initial development and construction. Many technologies have not been developed yet. Currently, only ordinary soldiers such as elven archers and druids can be produced. Naturally, they cannot compete with the orc army. But Qin Yan is different. After I master these architectural drawings of the elves, as long as I put my mind to building the Elven Forest, the speed of technological research and development will be greatly improved. Putting all the architectural drawings into the Lord space, Qin Yan's eyes were full of confidence. And by the time, these high-level soldiers of the elves can all be produced by me. Qin Yan seemed to be able to imagine it. He commanded a powerful forest elf army to instantly destroy other players' territories. What's more, Qin Yan also has the god-level talent of the Chosen Sun. Those buildings at the elves have a chance to trigger powerful additional functions during the construction process. In this way, even if fighting with other forest elf tribes, Qin Yan can maintain an absolute advantage. In short, after the forest elves are conquered into the territory, the already extremely powerful comprehensive strength of Valona will be further improved by several levels. How can Qin Yan not be excited about this? However, at this time, the sharp system sound came again. Ding dong. Since you have conquered the forest elves, the hatred of the orc army has been transferred to your troops! Warning. The orc army is about to attack your troops. The voice sounded, but Qin Yan was not panicked at all. First of all, Qin Yan is a reborn. He has long known that after conquering the forest elves, the hatred of the orc army will be transferred. Secondly, why should he be afraid? You must know that the purpose of Qin Yan's expedition this time was originally for the orc catapult. If it weren't for the time it took to conquer Trisna. Maybe Qin Yan would have given the order long ago. Let the wolf cavalry corps hidden in the dense forest behind us go out and then encircle and suppress the orcs in front of us. And anyway, as Valona continues to develop and expand, it will definitely clash with the orc army in the quiet forest in the future. Instead of making new plans at the time, it is better to take this opportunity now to directly hit them hard. Anyway, with the blessing of the Mithril, now the wolf cavalry corps is fully capable of competing with the orcs. At the same time, it seems to sense Qin Yan's thoughts. Lord Brian came to Qin Yan and knelt on one knee. Please allow Brian to go and eliminate these stupid orcs. Lord! Lord. The guards beside him also knelt on one knee and asked to fight. They could also feel it. After Qin Yan subdued the forest elf queen in front of him, the anger of the orcs all gathered towards them. But at the same time, these guards did not have any fear in their hearts. On the contrary, they were all excited. This excitement came from their supreme faith in Qin Yan. It was a great honor for them to kill for the Supreme Lord. Very good. The excitement shown by his subordinate made Qin Yan very satisfied. It's time to let those stupid orcs know what real power is. Kill. Turning to look in the direction of the orc camp, Qin Yan slowly raised his arms. Don't leave any ! Kill. Out! The voice fell. The guards around him rushed out quickly with a roar. Especially Brian. There was no extra words. He turned into a sharp knife, stabbed straight into the heart of the orc army, and then started killing. Boom. 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 At the same time, the ground under Qin Yan's feet began to shake. Kill. Accompanied by the earth-shaking roar, the entire wolf cavalry corps launched a charge. Chapter 57. They can go, you stay. Everyone, throw the spears. After reaching the range, the wolf cavalry corps immediately threw out the spears they carried. The spears were made of mithril and had extremely strong penetrating power. It was not something the orcs could resist at all. Whoosh. 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 The sound of breaking through the air rang out one after another. The next moment, blood splattered and flesh flew everywhere. The sharp spears either pierced into the eyes or into the belly of Yukshin. Before the direct battle, nearly 1,000 orcs fell down with just a volley of spears. As for the stone spears thrown by the orcs, they all fell into the air. The reason for this is naturally due to the terrifying agility of the Xinglan wolf clan and the danger perception ability that the warcraft was born with. With the blessing of the two, the wolf cavalry corps actions were like ghosts. There was no track to follow at all. Because of this, there were no casualties in the wolf cavalry corps. The first wave of spears clashed, and the orcs were completely suppressed. Gulu gulu. A thunderous roar came. Obviously, the result of this battle made the orcs furious. In a state of shame and anger, the orcs immediately rushed towards the wolf cavalry corps with a roar. After all, they knew clearly in their hearts head-on combat is their strongest fighting method. Huge body size, infinite power, and terrifying body recovery ability. These are the orcs' innate racial advantages. It is also that capital that the orcs have been able to fight on the continent of the Empire for many years. And now these orcs intend to rely on this advantage to fight head-on to completely tear apart these extremely tiny humans who were running around like fleas in front of them. Roar. Thinking of this, the orcs immediately accelerated and rushed towards the wolf cavalry corps with a roar. Bang. 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 The entire orc corps ran wildly at the same time. Such momentum seemed extremely amazing. And the next moment. All the orcs' faces revealed joy. Because they noticed that in the face of their rapid galloping, the wolf cavalry corps in front of them did not use their powerful agility advantage to pull and consume them bit by bit like the elves in the forest before. Instead, they actually charged forward like them. What? Roar. A shocking roar sounded. At this moment. The orcs had only one idea in their minds. That was to completely crush the wolf cavalry in front of them in a head-on collision. Let them pay the price for their arrogance. On the other side. Facing the orcs who were running wildly, Brian did not show any fear at all. Kill. He just took the lead and charging with a low roar. The entire wolf cavalry corps behind him rushed out without any hesitation. You want to fight? I will fight. Even if you were an orc with infinite power, I will still not have any fear. At this moment, the momentum displayed by the wolf cavalry corps even suppressed the beast tribe army. Boom. 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 The earth shook, and the sky of the earth changed color. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the two sides finally collided. But what was unexpected was, the wolf cavalry corps, as humans, did not collapse on the spot when they collided with each other. On the contrary, due to their faster speed and longer run-up distance. After the two corps collided head-on. The wolf cavalry corps once again firmly suppressed them. Kill. Taking advantage of the orcs' daze, Brian suddenly shouted, then turned into a dark magic shadow, rushed directly into the back of the orc camp, and began to kill. The wolf cavalry corps the same. Amid the roar, the mithril swords in their hands stabbed straight out. The target position was the heart of the orcs. Every move was fatal. Decisive killing. This is the fighting style of the wolf cavalry. Even when facing huge orcs, they are not inferior at all. Gurgle, gurgle. In a panic, the orcs could only raise their arms high and then hit the wolf cavalry heavily. Trying to rely on their own powerful strength to regather momentum. But the next moment, the orcs were completely shocked. Because they found that the power displayed by these tiny humans in front of them was not weaker than theirs. There were even many people whose power was stronger than theirs. Bang. 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 The wolf cavalry didn't care about that. They swung their mithril swords and went on. Every punch hit the flesh, every knife drew blood. There was no drag in the action. Such a powerful momentum immediately forced the orcs to retreat. In an instant, the battle became a one-sided crushing. Let's talk about Qin Yan. After ordering the wolf cavalry corps to attack the orcs, Qin Yan did not immediately check the newly acquired forest elf architectural drawings as usual. Instead, he looked at Trisna in front of him. It must be said that the elves are born beautiful. Words such as longevity, nobility, elegance, intelligence, and beauty are used to describe creatures such as forest elves, and there is no violation at all. And now, among the forest elves, the most distinguished elf queen, Trisna, stood in front of Qin Yan with a respectful look. Her delicate facial features and sexy red lips all exuded a strong temptation. And because she had just experienced a battle. At this time, the light golden leather armor that Trisna was wearing had been broken in many places, and the skin exposed from it looked extremely white and delicate. And Qin Yan also noticed Trisna's moon armor seemed to have been hit by a heavy object, and cracks had begun to appear, as if it could be directly torn apart with a little force. The same was true for the battle skirt. After the battle, several places had already begun to break. The slender white thighs were exposed, which made people have endless reverie. In addition, because the emotional fluctuations just now were too strong. Although it had been a long time. But at this time, Trisna's eyes were still slightly red and swollen. The traces of tears on her fair face were also clearly visible. It gave people a feeling of pity. So even Qin Yan couldn't help but be attracted by her. Lord. Being stared at by Qin Yan, Trisna's cheeks were already flushed, but she quickly shook her head, then knelt on one knee in front of Qin Yan. We forest elves can exert even more powerful power in the forest terrain. Please allow Trisna to lead the tribesmen to assist the wolf cavalry corps! Well, I understand. Qin Yan nodded after hearing this. He also knew that letting the forest elves enter the forest to fight was simply like a fish in water. With the help of the forest elves, the wolf cavalry corps can annihilate all the beast tribe troops in a shorter time. Thank you for your kindness, Lord. After thanking Qin Yan, Trisna immediately supported the two elf girls from before, and then prepared to go into the dense forest. Oh, right. But at this time, Qin Yan called her. Just let them go, doll. You stay. Si est escuchando esta novela en un canal distinto a mundo fanfic novelas, significat lo descarga and y subir en sin esfuerzos invitamos cordialmente a visitar nuestro canal. Mundo fanfic novelas all encontrás la versión original de esta historia y podrás explorar muchas otras novelas de diversos narradores. Te esperamos para sumergirte en un mundo de novelas increíbles. Chapter 58. Difficulty increases, SSS level mission. How come it's the same as the Black Beast Knights? After finishing her clothes, Qin Yan touched her nose and muttered, but I have to say, the feeling of being served by the giant elf is simply amazing. What's more, Trisna is the queen of the forest elves. Not only is her status noble, her skin and figure are also top among the elves. Even Qin Yan couldn't help but sigh at the wonder of the creator of this moment. And there is one more thing that must be mentioned. After Trisna's last bit of pride was conquered by Qin Yan, the nymphomaniac attribute in her body seemed to be thoroughly developed. No matter what Qin Yan did, she stared straight at him. Her face was flushed, and she wanted to hang on Qin Yan. Trisna. Looking at the time, Qin Yan said, let's go and see how the battle is going. Yes, master. Hearing Qin Yan's order, Trisna nodded and agreed. Trisna is at your service at any time! Brittany, come down. Shaking his head helplessly, Qin Yan looked up at the sky. Yin. As soon as the words fell, a crisp chirping sound came. Then, under Trisna's astonished eyes, Brittany in the form of a thunder eagle slowly landed in front of Qin Yan. Lord. Seeing Qin Yan, Brittany seemed very excited. After all, when the territory started, she was sent into the air by Qin Yan. Apart from killing dozens of Black Knights, she did almost nothing else. Lonely, her longing for Qin Yan became stronger. Yeah. Looking at the Thunder Eagle's body that had grown a lot after the battle, Qin Yan showed a satisfied smile on his face. Brittany, you've worked hard! Let's go, it's time to see the battle situation. Leading Trisna to Brittany's back, Qin Yan gave an order. Okay, Lord! Who? The next moment, the Thunder Eagle flapped its wings and soared into the sky. After the battle, Brittany's already extremely fast speed became even more amazing. Almost in the blink of an eye, it arrived directly above the battlefield. You are worthy of being Lord Qin Yan. Looking at the one-sided battle below, Trisna couldn't help but exclaimed, I have never seen any human army that can suppress those dirty orcs in a frontal battle! It's really a bit unexpectedly strong. Listening to the exclamation in his ear, Qin Yan also sighed slightly in his heart. To be honest, with Qin Yan's understanding of that beastman, he knew that after the wolf cavalrymen were equipped with mithril armor, their attributes were no weaker than those of the beastman. But after all, the other side still had a racial advantage. The beastmen were born with great strength and their body recovery ability was also extremely amazing. As long as they were not fatally injured, they could fight non-stop. Even before dying, they had to throw the battle axe in their hands fiercely and take another one away. This was the strength of the beastmen. It was also that capital that the beastmen were able to fight for many years on this continent in the Empire era. On the other hand, the Wolf Cavalry Corps. Although their attributes were not weak, they were still human beings after all. Some innate gaps were still difficult to make up for. But who would have thought? After the two sides clashed, the Wolf Cavalry Corps actually suppressed the Beastman army steadily. It was not a guerrilla war, that one, but a direct frontal suppression. There were hardly any casualties among the Wolf Cavalry. All of them were the huge bodies of the orcs that fell one after another. The whole battle was completely one-sided. To be honest, even Qin Yan did not expect such a result. But soon, Qin Yan guessed the reason. After all, the Wolf Cavalry Corps has been continuously advanced through fighting. When they were born, the Wolf Cavalry only mastered excellent fighting skills, but what really made them so powerful now was the countless battles on the edge of life and death. Continuous fighting allowed them to advance. The blood-licking battle on the tip of the knife made them know how to use simple methods to kill the enemy most effectively. It is also because of this. When facing orc warriors of the same rank or even higher rank, the Wolf Cavalry Corps cannot fall behind. And according to Qin Yan's guess, after experiencing this battle, maybe tonight, or even during the battle, the rank of the Wolf Cavalry can be improved again. By then, the overall strength of the Wolf Cavalry Corps will be greatly improved and become even stronger. That would be great. Just kidding. Who would dislike the strength of their army being too strong? Since the comprehensive strength shown by the Wolf Cavalry Corps is unexpectedly strong, then Qin Yan does not have any worries about the places that he was not particularly confident in taking down in his original territory expansion plan. For example, the matter of defeating the Beast Army at the moment. If the strength of the Wolf Cavalry Corps is not strong enough, then they can only repel the Beast Army and cannot completely annihilate it. And the consequence is that the Beast Army will come back again. After all, with Qin Yan's understanding of the Beastman's personality, they will never give up the plan to attack the Quiet Forest because of this defeat. Even the blood and corpses of their companions will make them completely furious. Then they will attack desperately. The frenzy at the Beastman doubled their ferocity. And in order to resist the impact of the Beast Army, Qin Yan must have to divide his mind to arrange defensive measures. The expansion speed of Valona will naturally be disturbed by this. But it is different now. The powerful combat power and terrifying fighting spirit shown by the Wolf Cavalry Corps. It has completely hit the Orc army. The number of orcs who can escape from here will definitely not exceed 1,000. Because of this. After this battle is over, Qin Yan can fully devote himself to the development and construction of the territory. For me, who was reborn and logged into the game in advance, a little more development time in the early stage will establish an immeasurable advantage. So the powerful strength shown by the Wolf Cavalry Corps and the fact that the Orc army was completely suppressed for Qin Yan, it was simply too cool. And at this time suddenly, several harsh prompt sounds rang in his ears. Warning. Since you have successfully conquered the elves, the SS level task request of the Elf Queen has been automatically issued to your task list! It is detected that the player's current territory level is small village. The difficulty of this task is automatically increased and has been converted to an SSS level task. Expel the Orc army! Note. This task involves the main battle of the continent. Players who complete the task can obtain precious rare rewards. Chapter 59. God level reward. God is of nature. It was upgraded to an SSS level mission, and it also involves the main battle of the continent. After reading the system prompt, Qin Yan was a little surprised. This was something he had not expected. After all, in his previous life, Qin Yan had a hard time even surviving main missions and such. To be honest, it had almost nothing to do with him. But this life, Qin Yan sat on the throne, overlooking the entire Quiet Forest below, with a sharp gaze. Everything will change. Boom. 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 At this time, there was a sudden surge of energy below. The momentum was so great that the entire dense forest trembled. Brian turned into a dark shadow and charged around the battlefield. The next moment, Brian appeared directly in the air. Die. The sword shadow flashed, and the orc's head was cut off on the spot. The huge head fell heavily, making a bang sound. The orc killed by Brian was the largest in size, and the moment he was killed, the remaining orcs on the battlefield immediately scattered. At the same time, the pleasant system sound also rang in Qin Yan's ears. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, your subordinates have successfully killed the leader of the Orc army! Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for exceeding the SSS level task, expel the Orc army, and rewards are being issued to you! Ding dong. It is detected that the player has the god level talent of the Chosen Sun, and the reward level is being increased. Is the task completed just now? When the voice came, Qin Yan's eyes flashed with joy. He still remembered how amazing the momentum displayed by the Orc army when it surrounded the Elf tribe was. As a result, under the siege of the Wolf Cavalry Corps, the entire Orc army was completely suppressed as soon as they fought. And now they are in disarray and have suffered a miserable defeat. And all this. It was only less than 2 hours ago. How could this not make Qin Yan sigh? In addition, the reward for this mission also made Qin Yan full of expectations. After all, he completed an SSS level mission this time. And it also involved the main battle of the continent. Not to mention Qin Yan himself. I am afraid that even those players who had entered the Empire Era continent at the beginning of their previous lives and then developed and built territories, probably no one had ever completed such a difficult mission, right? What's more, the system prompt clearly marked it. After completing the mission, players can get precious rare rewards. With the lucky bonus of the Chosen Sun, the reward level is being improved. All these things are coming down. What if I don't get any top quality rewards? It's really unworthy at my identity as the Chosen Sun. But at this time, something strange happened. Qin Yan, who was riding a thunder eagle and floating in the air, could clearly see that at the moment when the system prompted him to complete the mission, the entire quiet forest below was slightly trembling. At the same time, the next moment, an amazing scene appeared. In a mysterious place deep in the forest, pure natural magic energy slowly condensed, and then condensed into countless emerald green lights, converging towards Qin Yan in midair. Swish. 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 Green rays of light gathered one after another, and condensed into an emerald gem in front of Qin Yan. At this time, a pleasant system sound came. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for obtaining the only god-level item, Natural Godhead. Natural Godhead attribute. Make the controller evolve into a god of the elf plane. Restriction. Only elf creatures can control it. Description. The godhead formed by the condensation of the natural source, but the power of the godhead is still sealed. Players need to build the territory to a sufficient level before it can be fully unlocked. I actually got another god-level item reward. After checking the gem attributes, Qin Yan was stunned. He also knew something about the goddess of the elves. The moon goddess Ellen was the god worshipped by the elves on the continent of the Empire era, and also that god worshipped by most creatures. For example, the Nightblade leopard, plants, owl beasts, chimeras, tree people, elf dragons, tree demons, horned eagle beasts, etc. Even some powerful immortals who were gods or demigods believe in or respect Ellen, calling her the Lady in White, the Mother of all things, and the Holy Mother of Night. But what is the result now? The natural godhood that the system rewards can allow the controller to evolve into a god. Doesn't that mean as long as you continue to develop and build your territory, one day even the gods who control the original power of the world will become your subordinates? Congratulations to the master for obtaining the supreme divine object. At this time, seeing Qin Yan check the attributes, Trisna, who was standing aside, immediately stepped forward to congratulate, and her emotions seemed extremely excited. If Qin Yan knew the preciousness of the natural godhood item because of his identity as a player, then Trisna is the queen of the forest elves. Just when the quiet forest began to tremble and the emerald green light appeared, her body couldn't help but tremble slightly. Because she could clearly feel it. The gem in Qin Yan's hand contained a power similar to that of the moon goddess Ellen. That is the moon goddess worshipped by hundreds of millions of creatures on the continent. As a result, the master in front of him, Qin Yan, actually mastered this power. How could this not shock Trisna? Trisna. Hearing Trisna's exclamation, Qin Yan smiled slightly and said, "You'll keep this gem for me." The attribute restricts only elves to have the qualifications to control the nature of the godhood. And among Qin Yan's many subordinates, it is obvious. Trisna, who was originally the queen of the forest elves, is the best choice. Anyway, Qin Yan has signed a contract with her. There is no need to worry about the possibility that Trisna will betray. So Qin Yan immediately chose. Let Trisna master this godhood power. But out the voice fell, the emerald gem in his hand suddenly floated up, and then before Trisna could react, it was imprinted on her forehead. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, your subordinate Trisna has successfully evolved into Goddess of Nature. Suddenly, a pleasant system sound ran. Then, countless pure natural magic energies emerged from the depths of the forest again, and then gathered into Trisna's body. Buzz. 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 The next moment, a green halo formed at Trisna's feet. Then, with Trisna as the center, it quickly spread to the distant stop wherever the halo passed. The noisy forest quickly returned to silence. Then all the creatures in the forest knelt on the ground to welcome the birth of the goddess. At the same time. In Qin Yan's sight, Trisna's identity as the Queen of Elves slowly disappeared. When it reappeared, it had become Goddess of Nature Trisna. Chapter 60. Supernatural Powers, Healing Aura. Name: Trisna. Identity: Goddess of Nature. Master: Qin Yan. Loyalty: 100 on 100s, lifelong follower. Talent 1. Elf wings. Trisna can fly without any restrictions. Talent 2. World language. Trisna knows any language and can communicate cordially with all things in the world. Talent 3. Power of nothingness. Trisna can make herself completely undetectable by any perception ability, detection spell or ability. Skill 1. Nature's Blessing. All attributes of all friendly units are increased by 50%. Skill 2. Tranquil Ballad. Trisna sings a peaceful and tranquil ballad, making all creatures around her unable to launch any form of attack. Skill 3. Healing Aura. All injuries suffered by all friendly units within a radius of 100 feet with Trisna as the center will be quickly healed. Description: Trisna is a goddess of nature who controls the power of the origin of nature. She has powerful supernatural abilities. Of course, she is absolutely loyal to the player Qin Yan. Note: Trisna is a divine creature and there is no attribute restriction. She is worthy at being the goddess of nature. Qin Yan couldn't help but marvel at the new attributes. The newly awakened powerful talents and several skills she has mastered are all extremely powerful. Especially those 3 skills. Natural Blessing increases all attributes of all friendly units by 50%. The Calm Song directly prevents all creatures around from launching attacks. The existence of the healing aura makes it almost impossible for Qin Yan's army to suffer casualties. What the hell? What else can this be but a divine skill? And you have to know that the power of the Godhead has not been fully unlocked yet. The power of the Godhead of nature is gradually unlocked as the level of Valina increases. That is to say, as long as Qin Yan continues to develop and build the territory. Continuously improve the level of the territory. Then the abilities that Trisna possesses can continue to be improved. How strong is this? Thank you, Master, for giving Trisna the power. At this time, Trisna, who had evolved, also came to Qin Yan, without any hesitation, and knelt on one knee. Trisna will protect you forever. There is one more thing that must be mentioned. After evolving into the goddess of nature, Trisna's already stunning appearance has become even more eye-catching. This change cannot be described by appearance. It is a change in aura. When communicating with Trisna, Qin Yan felt like being bathed in spring breeze. Well, I know. This made Qin Yan smile faintly. To be honest, he still underestimated the power of the gods. Most of the power of the Godhead is still sealed, and Trisna has awakened such a powerful skill. If all of this is unlocked, what will happen? Even Qin Yan can hardly imagine it. And his heart can't help but be moved. Because according to what Qin Yan knows, if the player can build a temple of faith in the territory, then he can absorb the power of faith generated by the residents. Of course, that is just the official promotional material. In the real world, no one has ever obtained the architectural drawings of the temple of faith. Even if there are relevant clues, there is no discovery at all. Just like a giant dragon, it only exists in legends. It seems to be something that does not exist at all. If it was in the previous life, I would definitely not think of it as a god. Sitting on the throne, Qin Yan looked at Trisna, who was in front of him with a vain breath, and his expression was a little elusive. But now, maybe one day I can also condense the godhood and become an existence believed by hundreds of millions of creatures. At this moment, the mystery displayed by the continent of the Empire era let Qin Yan's state of mind also begin to change. At the same time, when the pleasant system sound of the task completed rang in Qin Yan's ears, the blood-soaked wolf cavalry in the quiet forest below also raised their weapons and cheered for victory. And Qin Yan's previous guess was right. Facing the orcs of equal strength, many wolf cavalry were promoted again in this battle. The grade was upgraded again and promoted to the 4th level troops. From the 3rd level to the 4th level, although it seems that there is not much change. But Qin Yan has absolute confidence. If all the wolf riders advance to the 4th level after this battle, then the next time they fight with the orcs, the battle will end at least several times faster than it is now. This is the power of the rank. With the lucky bonus provided by the god-level talent of the Chosen Son, the additional function of self-advancing triggered when building the barracks can allow the soldiers under Qin Yan to crush all other players. At this time, the wolf riders below gradually calmed down and reorganized the formation. Then, Brian at the front of the team looked up at Qin Yan in the air, and then knelt on one knee. Supreme Lord. Brian will become the sword in your hand and kill all the enemies! We will kill all the enemies for you. Out the voice fell. The entire wolf rider army knelt on one knee towards Qin Yan. The roar sounded at the same time, startling the entire quiet forest. The momentum was amazing. And at this moment, in mid-air, Trisna, who was suspended in front of Qin Yan, had also completed her evolution, and then burst out a rich natural magic energy from her body, and then spread to the ground like ripples. Buzz. The emerald green light swept over. All the injuries on the wolf cavalry began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was the effect of the magical skill of healing aura. Qin Yan even noticed some wolf cavalry with broken limbs. After being healed, the broken limbs had been glued together again. This is the power of magic. It's like a miracle. And Trisna's healing aura skill can be used at all times, and it is effective for all friendly units within 100 feet around her. What is this concept? The effect of the healing aura is simply invincible. Clean up the battlefield. With almost no hesitation, Qin Yan urged Brittany to come to the sky above the army and gave an order. Then go back to the territory to prepare for the dinner! Roar. As soon as the voice fell, all the wolf cavalry cheered loudly. Qin Yan prepared a dinner, which meant that their performance was recognized by the Lord. Such a precious and supreme honor. The wolf cavalry were naturally excited. As for Qin Yan, he was also very happy. Because of the huge lucky bonus. The battlefield was full of glittering spoils. There were also hundreds of intact orc catapults. It can be said that the harvest of this battle was extremely rich. Chapter 62. Powerful bonus, Phantom Orb. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for obtaining the only golden title, Elf King. The moment the system sounded, an inexplicable force descended on Qin Yan and merged with Qin Yan. Suspended in the air of the territory, Qin Yan suddenly emitted a dazzling light. As the golden light surged, the characteristics of the elves gradually emerged, making Qin Yan look more handsome, and exuding a noble atmosphere in his every move. This is the blessing of the Elf King. The moment the system sounded, the noble identity of the Elf King has been combined with Qin Yan's fate. Boom. Then pure natural magic energy emerged from the depths of the quiet forest, gathered towards Qin Yan, and poured into Qin Yan's body. The mosquitoes, insects, birds and beasts in the forest also all bowed their heads to Qin Yan in the sky, symbolizing their absolute submission to Qin Yan. Until the natural magic energy stopped flowing, Qin Yan slowly opened his eyes, but the shock in his eyes remained. After all, this is a golden title. In the previous life, it seems that no one among the 10 billion players on Earth has ever obtained a golden title. Most of the titles obtained by players are the lowest white titles such as Fearless Knight and Warcraft Hunter. The attribute bonus provided by the title is almost negligible. There are even countless players who have been eaten up by monsters before they even get the title. But in this life, before the game of other players officially started, Qin Yan has already obtained the golden title. And it is a special and unique title. After Qin Yan obtained it, other players have no chance to obtain it again. To be honest, this feeling is simply awesome. Then, Qin Yan immediately checked the attributes of the title. Title: Elf King, Golden Unique, Attribute Bonus. All attributes +3 per level. Skill bonus: Forest Will. In the forest terrain, the player's all attributes will be improved again. Strong. The golden title is indeed extremely powerful. There is nothing much to say. After reading it, Qin Yan sighed in his heart. Each level increases all attributes by 5 points, level 10 is 50 points, and level 20 is 100 points. As the experience points gained by subordinate when killing enemies continue to flow into Qin Yan's body. Qin Yan has now reached level 20. In other words, the total attribute bonus provided by the title alone is as much as 100 points. What's more, the title of Elf King also provides skill bonuses. In the forest terrain, Qin Yan's already extremely powerful attributes will be further improved. Check the attributes. Almost without any hesitation, his own attribute panel immediately appeared in front of Qin Yan. Name: Qin Yan. Level: LV20. Attack: 240-300. Defense: 220. Health: 50,000. Magic: 30,000. Attributes: Strength 200, Constitution 200, Agility 200, Intelligence 200. Reputation: 20,000. Skills: Territory Teleport, Thunder Resistance, Dragon Rider Dance, Forest Will. Equipment: Lord's Heart, Ring of Hades. Title: Elf King, Gold, Identity, Primary Lord. Territory: Valina, Small Village, Talent: Chosen Son, only God level talent. This, maybe I can crush any player just by relying on attributes. After looking at his attribute panel, Qin Yan thought to himself, of course, this is just self-mockery. He clearly understood that the Empire continent was far from being as simple as he imagined. In the future, any mysterious strong man would appear at random. Perhaps he could completely crush him. But at least at this stage, as far as this quiet forest is concerned, no one can pose the slightest threat to Qin Yan. And at this moment, suddenly, over the entire Empire era, several crisp system announcements that only Qin Yan could hear were heard again. Ding dong. Congratulations to player Qin Yan for becoming the first player on the Empire era continent to obtain the gold special title. The player is rewarded with 5,000 reputation points! Ding dong. It is detected that the player has the god-level talent of the Chosen Son. Congratulations to the player for obtaining the only rare item, Phantom Orb. The system announcement was broadcast 3 times in a row, alarming the entire Empire era continent. It turned out to be the only rare item again. Even Qin Yan couldn't help but be slightly stunned at this moment. The top rewards continued one after another. Who can bear this? But soon, as a pure white gem fell into his palm, Qin Yan's eyes once again showed an unconcealed expectation. Phantom Orb attributes. When equipped with this gem, the player can have multiple title effect bonuses at the same time, and can switch to display or hide in the title list at all. Description. The only rare item, which can play an unexpected effect at a critical moment. Can it have multiple title effect bonuses at the same time? After reading the gem attributes, Qin Yan was completely spartan. He had originally guessed that the phantom orb rewarded by the system should be related to the title. After all, the system gave it to him as a player who got the gold title for the first time. But Qin Yan didn't expect it. The effect of the phantom orb can actually allow players to have multiple title effect bonuses at the same time. What is this concept? You must know that the original player can only equip one title at a time. Even if you get 2 or more titles, you can only get one title effect bonus at the same time. But the phantom orb that Qin Yan got now directly broke this rule. No matter what title, the bonus can be enjoyed at the same time. This is number. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a god level item. Equip now. Without any hesitation, Qin Yan immediately chose the equipment. Sure enough, at the moment when the phantom orb was equipped. In the title column of the attribute panel. Next to the golden elf king, the none option that had disappeared automatically reappeared. With a thought, the title of elf king disappeared. The elven characteristics on Qin Yan's body also disappeared immediately. The title column showed none again. But Qin Yan's full attributes did not change at all. Still extremely powerful. This equipment is simply set up for me. Seeing this scene, Qin Yan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This sentence is the truth. After all, Qin Yan's identity is not a novice. He is a reborn person who is familiar with the Empire continent. On the Empire continent, the places where titles can be obtained, not to mention all of them, are remembered clearly. But at least many of the titles with powerful effects. Especially those titles that can provide powerful bonuses for territory construction. Qin Yan remembered them clearly in his mind. If all these titles were obtained, how terrifying would the development and expansion speed of Valhalla be improved? Just thinking about it is exciting. And if Qin Yan remembered correctly, there is a place where you can get a title in the Misty Mountains east of the Quiet Forest. Chapter 63. Elf Tribe, Rebuilding. With the Quiet Forest as the center, there are Misty Mountains to the east, Dark Swamp to the west, Frozen Bay to the north, and Doomsday Volcano to the south. These are several important areas in the central region of the Empire continent. And if Qin Yan remembers correctly, the Misty Mountains are where the dwarves live, and if the player can complete the tasks issued by the dwarves and gain their recognition, they can obtain the title of Forging Master. This is the information Qin Yan obtained from communicating with the natives in his previous life. Although it is not known what level of title it belongs to. But it is well known that dwarves are an ancient race on the Empire continent. They master exquisite forging technology and unique ore mining skills. The effect bonus of this Forging Master title will certainly not be too bad. In my previous life, I entered the game late, and the territory's overall strength was not enough, so I didn't dare to take the risk to complete the tasks issued by the dwarves. Closing the attribute panel, Qin Yan clenched his fists. But in this life, I will not miss anything that is helpful for the development and construction of the territory. But now, Qin Yan is not in a hurry to find that dwarves. He plans to build the elf tribe first. Trishana, follow me. Signing Trishana to follow, Qin Yan took the lead and flew out of the city wall. Trishana. Landing outside the city, Qin Yan slowly said, I plan to build all the outer areas of the Quiet Forest into elf tribes, and then you'll manage it for me. No. After Qin Yan finished speaking, Trishna's emotions seemed extremely excited. Master, including our forest elves, the entire Quiet Forest is already your property, and it should be built as a human city as a whole! Calm down, I'm talking about the outermost area. Trishana's reaction made Qin Yan smile. Valhalla will expand outward from the center little by little. Master, what you mean is to build all the outer areas of the Quiet Forest into elf tribes, so that other people will think this is an elf forest. Trishana heard this and immediately fell into deep thought. After a while, she spoke again. In this way, no one will know that the center of the Quiet Forest is actually a human castle built by and the barrier formed by natural magic can also cover up the breath, so that the enemies in the sky cannot find Valhalla. Without waiting for Qin Yan to speak, Trishna said again after she finished speaking. She looked straight at Qin Yan, her eyes full of hope. Smart. Qin Yan never hesitates to praise his subordinates. What Trishna said was right, and his plan was indeed like this. Because the two most powerful tribes in the Quiet Forest were the Elf tribe and the Orc tribe. Now that the Orc army has been destroyed, it is the Elf tribe that will take over and rule the Quiet Forest. If it were the human army that took over and ruled, what would the leaders of other races on the continent in the Empire think? The consequence. It must be endless harassment and temptation. This is extremely unfavorable for the development and construction of Valina. What's more, Qin Yan also has a huge lucky bonus. As long as he is given enough time to develop, he is destined to be able to build the territory into an indestructible and powerful empire. So Qin Yan made such a plan in his heart. Especially when he accepted the SSS level task of expel the Orc army, and the system prompted that this task involved the main battle of the continent. It made Qin Yan more determined. Okay, Master, I understand. Seeing Qin Yan's determined expression, Trisna stopped talking nonsense and immediately stretched out her arms towards the depths of the forest. Natural elves favored by the goddess of nature, I summon you in the name of the goddess of nature to obey my orders. As soon as the words fell, dozens of green elves emerged from them. Qin Yan also felt the friendly breath coming from the elves in front of him. Okay, elves, it's time to start building a home. With a slight smile, Qin Yan opened the Lord space. Then, several drawings flashing with golden light appeared in his hand. They were the architectural drawings obtained after conquering the forest elves. The buildings originally built by the elves themselves are already extremely powerful. Qin Yan's eyes showed a hint of expectation after arranging the architectural drawings in order. If I build it, perhaps with the huge lucky bonus of the god-level talent of the chosen son, it can trigger more powerful additional functions. Thinking of this, Qin Yan did not hesitate at all and immediately ordered, "Start building." Boom. 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 As soon as the words fell, pure natural energy emerged. This is the power of the forest elves. Everything in the forest can be a help to them. Soon, pleasant system sounds came one after another. Ding dong. The war ancient tree has been built! Ding dong. The knowledge ancient tree has been built! Ding dong. The moon well has been built! Ding dong. The natural barrier has been built. The system sounded, and buildings with unique characteristics of the forest elves rose up one after another in front of them. Then, the attribute panel automatically appeared in front of Qin Yan. War ancient tree level. Platinum. Basic function. Bow and arrow training. Train the elf girls into qualified and well-trained archers. Basic function. Additional weapon. Equipped with a moonblade weapon, which requires magic summoning. Basic function. Catapult attack. The moonblade will ricochet between enemies. Additional function. Magic arrow. The arrow shot will automatically track the target and hit the enemy's weak point 100%. Extra function triggered by the god-level talent of the chosen one. Construction materials. Gold 3000, wood 5000, stone 5000, iron 5000. Description. The additionally equipped moonblade weapons and the magic arrows fired greatly enhance the damage output of the elf archer unit. Ancient tree of knowledge level. Platinum level. Basic function. Claw druid. Produce a bear-shaped druid for you, with more powerful attack power and health. Basic function. Roar. The druid roars to increase the attack power of surrounding friendly units. Basic function. Hippogriff. Tame the hippogriff as a mount, and carry the elf archer to become a hippogriff rider. Extra function. Wing enhancement. Strengthen the wings of the hippogriff, greatly enhancing its agility. Extra function triggered by the god-level talent of the chosen one. Construction materials. Gold 5000, wood 5000, stone 5000, iron 5000. Description. The existence of druid can greatly enhance the survivability of the elf girl archers and provide you with their force. Chapter 64. Territory upgrade is just around the corner. Moonwell level. Platinum level. Basic function. Production acceleration. Speed. Up the production of food for the elves. Basic function. Increased storage. The total amount of food that can be stored in each moonwell increases. Basic function. Moon essence. The moonwell will automatically absorb the moon essence at night, which can help the surrounding elves restore their health and magic points. Extra function. Spring of the moonwell. Increase the absorption speed of the moon essence at night, and the upper limit of the storage will also be increased. Extra function triggered by the god-level talent of the chosen son. Construction materials. Gold 1000, wood 2000, stone 2000, iron ore 1000. Description. The moonwell can provide food for the elves and help them restore their energy. With the huge lucky bonus, all the buildings I built are much more powerful than others. After reading the properties of the three buildings, Qin Yan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Although it is a building of the forest elves. However, they still triggered powerful additional functions during the creation process. With these additional functions. Whether it is the elf girl archers themselves or the mounts they ride, the combat capabilities have been greatly improved on the original basis. There are also the most basic buildings in the territory itself. For example, the moonwell that Qin Yan just checked has also become much more powerful. And all of this make Qin Yan always stronger than others. Even if there are other players who have mastered the arms and technology of the forest elves, when they fight with Qin Yan, they are destined to be defeated. Even the forest elf tribes in other regions of the continent in the Empire era. As long as Qin Yan is given enough time to develop. He will be able to suppress it steadily one day. This is the power of the god-level talent of the chosen son. Then, Qin Yan did not continue to check the properties of other buildings. Because he could feel it. There is an extremely powerful and pure energy coming from under his feet. But. At this moment, the ground under his feet trembled slightly. Then, a stream of pure natural energy rushed out from the ground. This energy flashed with brilliant green light and then rushed directly to the sky. When it was about to reach the dome of the sky, it suddenly spread out in all directions. Boom. The wind and clouds changed color. The pure natural energy spread in the sky, and then formed a green light wall, and then completely enveloped the elf tribe rebuilt by Qin Yan below. Then, the light wall attribute appeared in front of him. Natural barrier level. Platinum level. Basic function. Natural shield. Pure natural magic energy will condense into a light wall shield above the territory, which can resist the attack of any 4th level creature. Basic function. Breath isolation. Isolate the breath of creatures under the natural barrier. Even high-level magic is difficult to detect. Basic function. Automatic recovery. The natural barrier can automatically and slowly recover after being damaged. Additional function. Wind of recovery. The healing magic triggered immediately after the natural barrier is completely broken can quickly help the residents in the territory recover from injuries. Extra function triggered by the chosen son's talent. Construction requirements. Gold coins 5,000, wood 10,000. Description. A powerful shield that can completely resist the attack of 4th level creatures, and it also has the functions of automatic recovery and breath isolation. After being completely broken, it will automatically transform into healing magic, and the protection effect is very powerful. It is worthy at being the natural magic that the elves are famous for on the continent. The protection ability of the natural barrier is simply incomparable. Not to mention the powerful shield protection. After the barrier is broken, it can also condense to form a wind of recovery. It is simply the ultimate protection work. And in addition, the breath isolation function is the most indispensable in Qin Yan's plan. Natural barriers are also available. Even Qin Yan couldn't help but be amazed at this moment. Master, I will continue to build the tribe. At this time, Trisna also came to Qin Yan and said with a smile. As the goddess of nature, Trisna has wisdom far beyond ordinary people. Knowing that Qin Yan must have some concerns in his heart when he immediately rebuilt the elf tribe after returning to the territory. Or maybe he wanted to achieve some goal, so he was so eager. Put yourself in other shoes. So Trisna took the architectural drawings from Qin Yan without any hesitation, and immediately began to rebuild the elf tribe. Solving problems for Qin Yan has become her most important responsibility. Even if it costs her life. Trisna will not hesitate at all. Thank you for your hard work, Trisna. Trisna's understanding also made Qin Yan feel refreshed. To be honest, he was indeed a little tired after a day. It was mainly because of the excessive pressure in his previous life. If you are not careful, it may lead to a disaster. So Qin Yan needs to do everything himself. Only after all the information is clearly understood can he sleep peacefully at night. But in this life, the abilities of his subordinates have changed dramatically. And they are absolutely loyal to Qin Yan. The feeling of having someone to help take care of everything is fascinating. What's more, Trisna is the goddess of nature. The service of the goddess is simply amazing. Of course, Qin Yan still has things to do. Open the Lord interface. As soon as the voice fell. The territory upgrade interface automatically appeared in front of him. Territory upgrade. Territory name. Valina. Current level. Small village. Next level. Medium village. Territory area. 0.87300 square kilometers. Not yet satisfied. Territory resources. Satisfied. Territory buildings. Satisfied. Territory population. 12471520000. Not yet satisfied. The above is the current situation of Valina's territory. First of all, there are two aspects. Resources and buildings. Since Qin Yan obtained the god-level talent of the chosen son, the mysterious lucky bags in the Lord Roulette and the Lord Maw can open a large number of complete building drawings almost every day. When killing enemies, Building blueprint fragments are also exploded from time to time. So in terms of construction, it is almost always up to standard. Needless to say, resources are even more numerous than buildings. There is not much difference in terms of territory area and population. Valana's current area has reached more than 2,000 square kilometers. The total population has also exceeded 100,000. Although it has not yet reached the upgrade standard, it is only a matter of time. Closing the territory upgrade interface, Qin Yan's eyes are full of confidence. The reason why the area has not yet reached the standard. It is just because Qin Yan has not built buildings in the areas previously conquered by the wolf cavalry. Now Trisna is rebuilding the elf tribe without stopping. The territory area and population in the Qin Yan Lord interface are both increasing at a visible rate. I believe it won't take long before we can reach the target. Chapter 65. Botanical Research Institute, Magical Sensing. The next morning. After washing, Qin Yan picked up his phone and searched for news related to the Age of Empires continent again. But the content displayed made him feel helpless. Because as the day went by, the news about Age of Empires increased compared to yesterday. It seems that it will be lively soon. With a sigh, Qin Yan put on his helmet directly. If you can't suppress something, you will be bored if you are too entangled. It is better to seize the time and continue to expand your advantage. Strive to develop and build Valana into an indestructible and invincible empire before the player's logging. This is the goal Qin Yan needs to strive for. Shwa. A flash of golden light. When he landed again, Qin Yan had already appeared in the Lord's castle. Without any hesitation, the territory upgrade interface appeared in front of him. Territory upgrade. Territory name: Valana. Current level: small village. Next level: medium village. Territory area: 0.14300 square kilometers. Satisfied. Territory resources: satisfied. Territory buildings: satisfied. Territory population: 16124720000. Not satisfied yet. Almost. Close the interface. Qin Yan walked out of the Lord's castle. Lord! Lord! As soon as he walked out of the door, the loud voices of the soldiers came to his ears. Including Brian. The soldiers were waiting at the door early, but no one was dissatisfied at all. On the contrary, they felt that this was a matter of course. Yeah. Qin Yan didn't say much, just nodded calmly, maintaining enough dignity. This is a ritual that can enhance the cohesion of subordinates. There is no need to stop it. Master, I have rebuilt the elf tribe around the periphery of Valana last night. Please take a look at it yourself. At the same time, Trisna also leaned forward and reported respectfully in Qin Yan's ear. Of course. All this information had been displayed very clearly on the Lord's sand table just now in the Lord's castle, and Qin Yan had already known it in his mind. No, I believe you. After saying that, Qin Yan walked directly out of the territory. Only Trisna was left standing there blankly, her face flushed. Open the Lord's roulette. Standing in the open space, Qin Yan began to draw every day. If it was in his previous life, he would definitely not be so active. But now, if possible, I can draw all day long. At this time, the roulette stopped, and then the system sound came. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, you have obtained the complete building blueprint, Botanical Research Institute 1! A good start. The system sounded, and suddenly a building blueprint shining with brilliant golden light fell into his palm, which made Qin Yan feel very satisfied. As for the blueprint function. As the name suggests, it is mainly to study certain special plants. If the player is lucky, he may be able to obtain the corresponding precious materials. Even if the luck is great, it is not impossible to directly decompose the plant to obtain the corresponding top quality blueprint. Of course. For ordinary players, the probability is almost zero. In the previous life, many players had obtained this architectural blueprint. After building it, they waited happily every day, hoping that some precious treasure could be decomposed one day. But often the results are nothing. It may take several months, and even the roots cannot be decomposed. It makes people want to tear it down directly. But that is for ordinary players. Ordering the workers to build, Qin Yan had an inexplicable expectation in his heart. I now have a huge luck bonus. Maybe the Botanical Research Institute can bring me a surprise. And the additional functions triggered later also surprised Qin Yan. Magic sensing. When studying plants full of magic, there is a high probability that the corresponding magic potion can be researched. A high probability of researching magic potions. Seeing these words, Qin Yan was shocked. This is a magic potion. Awakening potion that can remove the sleep effect. Blinding potion that can make the enemy blind. Steel potion that can provide a good strength bonus for a short time. There are many more, all of which are magic potions. The effect of each magic potion is also extremely powerful. Whether it is a large-scale battle or a small-scale battle. If used well, these magic potions have the opportunity to instantly turn the entire battle situation around. That's why in the past life, no matter where, as long as the news about magic potions came out, countless people would scramble for it. The difficulty of obtaining it can be seen. With the result now. The Botanical Research Institute has triggered the additional function of magic sensing, plus a huge luck bonus. Doesn't that mean as long as Qin Yan finds magic plants and puts them into the Research Institute for research, he can almost get the corresponding magic potions 100% of the time? How could Qin Yan not be shocked by this? And, as far as I know, there are quite a few magic plants on the continent of the Empire era. Qin Yan's words are not exaggerated. In the past life, Qin Yan knew dozens of magic plants. Silverleaf grass, mind-concentrating flowers, etc. are all magic plants that can be seen everywhere on the continent of the Empire era. Relatively rare ones, such as soul-eating grass, etc. As long as you look for them patiently, you can still find them. Raw materials are not a problem. The research technology of magic potions has also been mastered. If you don't make dozens of magic potions, it would be a shame for this additional function. From now on, the task of finding magic plants will be handed over to the elf girls. Qin Yan summoned Trisna to his side without any hesitation, and then handed the task to her. The forest elves are born with strong magic sensing abilities. In addition to the natural magic they master, it is perfect to let the elf girls find magic plants. Yes, master. Trisna nodded in agreement upon hearing this. But then, she was slightly surprised and said, Master, what are the magic plants you were talking about? After thinking for a while, Qin Yan patiently explained, it is those plants that contain magic and have special functions. Trisna was still a little confused. But then, she slowly stretched out her arm towards Qin Yan. Master, are you talking about this? As soon as the voice fell. Emerald green natural magic energy emerged in the palm of her hand. The next moment, it condensed into a fruit plate. The fruit plate was filled with a dazzling array of grapes and bananas, and even pineapples. Of course, there are more exotic fruits that Qin Yan has never seen in real life. Master, these are the daily food of our elves. Then, Trisna explained to Qin Yan. But I remember that many humans were very excited when they saw them before. But what Trisna didn't notice was while she was talking, Qin Yan's eyes on the other side were getting brighter and brighter. Siest escuchando esta novela en un canal distinto a mundo fanfic novelas, significat lo descarga and y superan sinisfuerzos invitamos cordialmente a visitar nuestro canal. Mundo fanfic novelas all encontrar la versión original de esta historia y podrás explorar muchas otras novelas de diversos narradores. Esperamos para sumergirte en un mundo de novelas incredibles. Chapter 66 Magic Potion, Permanent Improvement. All of them are magic fruits? Looking at the fruit in Trisna's hand, Qin Yan's eyes flashed with surprise. Amethyst grapes attributes. After taking, it can eliminate mental fatigue. Description. Fruits containing magic power can be researched to produce corresponding magic potions. Magic banana attributes. After taking, it can eliminate physical fatigue. Description. Fruits containing magic power can be researched to produce corresponding magic potions. Each fruit has special attributes, and all of them are fruits containing magic power. Of course, Qin Yan's attention mainly on the sentence after the system description. Can research the corresponding magic potion. Just now he was thinking about asking the elf girls to find magic plants, but Trisna took them out directly, which made Qin Yan feel happy. Start researching immediately. Then, Qin Yan gave the order without any hesitation. Soon, the system sound ran one after another. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for successfully researching magic potions. Wisdom Potion 1, Constitution Potion 1, Strength Potion 1, Agility Potion 1. Wisdom Potion attributes. After taking it, it can permanently increase the intelligence attribute by 5 points. Note. Taking too much will not continue to take effect. Constitution Potion attributes. After taking it, it can permanently increase the Constitution attribute by 5 points. Note. Taking too much will not continue to take effect. Strength Potion attributes. After taking it, it can permanently increase the Strength attribute by 5 points. Note. Taking too much will not continue to take effect. Agility Potion attributes. After taking it, it can permanently increase the Agility attribute by 5 points. Note. Taking too much will not continue to take effect. It can actually permanently increase the attribute. After checking the attributes, Qin Yan was a little excited. He didn't expect that the effects of the few magic potions he researched casually were so simple and crude. Directly increase the attribute value. You have to know that the 4 major attributes are extremely important. Every improvement can affect the overall strength. Ordinary soldiers can only increase a few attributes at most when they upgrade. But now all you need to do is take magic potions to improve all the attributes. The raw materials for its production are just some common fruits. Now the overall strength of Valina can reach another level. Qin Yan is very satisfied with the effect of these magic potions. And when he checked the attributes, the sensible Trisna has also passed on the order. Let the elf girls in the territory take the wolf cavalry to pick all the magic fruits in the quiet forest and make magic potions. These ordinary fruits can actually be made into magic potions? I found that my strength is stronger than before! You are worthy at being the Supreme Lord. Looking at the newly made magic potions in the research institute, the elf girls couldn't help but look extremely surprised. They didn't expect that the fruits they used to eat as snacks would have such a big change in effect after they were in Qin Yan's hands. This made them admire Qin Yan even more. And at this time, an elf girl suddenly exclaimed, "Sister Mia, you seem to be more beautiful than before!" You too. I noticed that your skin has become better after taking the potion. The elf girls exclaimed one after another. They have indeed become more beautiful. Qin Yan carefully looked at the beautiful elf girls and found that after taking the potion, not only did they look more beautiful, but their skin also became better. It turns out that the wisdom potion also has the effect of beautifying and nourishing the skin. And Qin Yan noticed. After feeling his gaze, the elf girls in Valina were still a little shy, but they did not hide it at all, and showed Qin Yan the perfect curves of the girls. This is simply specially made for the harem group. Stretching, Qin Yan felt comfortable all over. Then, the Lord Maul interface appeared in front of him. Then the mysterious lucky bag that was refreshed was bought by Qin Yan in one go. And what was surprising was that when the lucky bag was opened, all the items obtained were complete architectural drawings. Gladiator Temple level. Platinum. Basic function. Actual combat ability plus 60, victory experience plus 100. Additional function. Elite advancement plus 50. Extra function triggered by the chosen talent, combat power rating plus 2000, description. Improve the combat experience of soldiers through competition, and even have the opportunity to upgrade and advance small warehouse level. Platinum. Basic function. Resource storage plus 5000, transportation efficiency plus 300. Extra function. Treasure magic power plus 100. Extra function triggered by the chosen talent, combat power rating plus 500, description. A warehouse for storing materials, improving the efficiency of resource transportation, and slowing down the dissipation of treasure magic power. Magic orchard level. Platinum. Basic function. Planting technology plus 300, fruit ripening plus 300. Extra function. Magic plants plus 300. Extra function triggered by the chosen talent, combat power rating plus 500, description. Magic soil can plant any magic plant, providing you with a variety of precious materials. Intelligence Tower level. Platinum. Basic functions. Intelligence gathering plus 100, keen perception plus 100. Additional functions. Important tips plus 100. Additional functions triggered by the chosen sun talent, combat power score plus 2000, description. Provide you with intelligence so that you don't miss any information that is beneficial to the development of the territory. 4 complete architectural drawings. All the necessary buildings for the development and construction of the territory. The functions it has also make Qin Yan very satisfied. For example, the magic orchard can plant any magical plants. It can be said that it complements the Botanical Research Institute and provides great help for the improvement of the overall strength of the territory. The role of the Gladiator Temple is also very powerful. The barracks built by Qin Yan originally triggered the function of self-advancing. During the battle, the soldiers have a chance to be upgraded. Now that the Gladiator Temple has been built, soldiers competing in it are equivalent to fighting. Not only can they gain experience points after winning, but their grades also have a chance to be upgraded. It is not an exaggeration at all. As long as there is enough time for the soldiers to keep fighting, the level and grade of Qin Yan's army in the future will be several times higher than that of others. Any army can be easily suppressed. In the intelligence tower that was opened at the end. Any information that may be beneficial to the development of the territory will be notified to Qin Yan as soon as possible. Coupled with my understanding of that continent in the Empire era, the development and construction speed of Valina will be greatly improved again. It was at this time. The intelligence tower was built. Then, a message appeared in the intelligence log. The monsters in the northeast of the quiet forest are restless, and it seems that something is hidden in it. Chapter 67. Super large gold mine, army gathering. Oh. The message appeared, and Qin Yan's mouth curled up slightly. The intelligence log is not like a system prompt, which will directly tell you what your subordinates have found. The information in the log is more like a guide. It guides you to explore, but the consequences are unclear. You may find precious treasures, but you may also break into the lair of powerful monsters. Everything is up to the player to choose to explore. If it were in the previous life, I might still have some concerns. Closing the intelligence log, Qin Yan ordered the army to assemble. But now, I will not miss any opportunity. The Wolf Cavalry Corps is very fast. It didn't take long before they arrived at the northeastern area of the quiet forest. Brian, Lanya, go ahead and find out the situation. Then, Qin Yan ordered. Although Qin Yan had been stationed here in his previous life, the quiet forest was so large that he couldn't cover everything, and many areas still needed to be explored again. Yes, Lord. At the same time. In the sky, Brittany in the form of a thunder eagle also let out a long howl. The dense forest below was so dense that it was difficult for her to see the situation clearly. But there was no doubt that as long as she found any abnormality, she would inform Qin Yan as soon as possible. I shouldn't be disappointed. Looking at the backs of the three subordinates gradually going away, Qin Yan's eyes were full of expectations. Since he could find a complete mithril vein in the quiet forest. Perhaps there are other treasures hidden in the quiet forest. This is also possible. And what Qin Yan needs to do is to lead the Wolf Cavalry Corps to conquer the entire quiet forest in an unstoppable manner. Lord. At this time, Trisna stepped forward. I have communicated with the monsters in the forest before, and there seems to be a gold mine hidden in this area! Gold mine? Qin Yan. Very good. Of course, to be honest, Qin Yan is not particularly short of money now. With a huge lucky bonus, the Wolf Cavalrymen had exploded a lot of gold coins when they defeated the Orc army and hunted other monsters in the forest. Build buildings, upgrade territories, rebuild elf tribes, produce scorpions, make magic potions, etc. Although it cost a lot of gold coins, it is nothing compared to the amount of gold coins obtained. However, this does not mean that Qin Yan does not need to look for gold mines. On the contrary, with huge consumption, Qin Yan has to prepare gold coins. After all, there are not always wars. As for the monsters in the quiet forest, most of them have now taken the initiative to surrender to Qin Yan. It is impossible to kill them all for gold coins, right? Moreover, as a reborn Qin Yan, it is absolutely impossible to get gold coins in this way. Even if what is found now is not a gold mine. Next, Qin Yan will think of other ways to find clues to the gold mine. Lord. But at this time, Brian and Lanya came back. Did you find anything? We found a gold mine. It was indeed a gold mine. Hearing Brian's report, Qin Yan showed a satisfied smile on his face. Then, Qin Yan asked, how big is it? Super large! Super large gold mine. Hearing this, Qin Yan couldn't help but exclaim, that couldn't be better. Gold mine levels are divided according to daily output: 1,000 gold coins a day, a small gold mine 2,000 gold coins a day, a medium-sized gold mine 5,000 gold coins a day, a large gold mine. And now, the super large gold mine that Brian and his team found is the highest level gold mine. The daily output of gold coins is as much as 10,000. As long as there are enough migrant workers, 10,000 gold coins will be earned every day, and 300,000 gold coins will be earned every month. It can be said to be the iconic building of the Imperial City. Qin Yan recalled the daily output of gold mines of various levels, and felt more and more delighted. After all, he originally thought the gold mine that Trisna mentioned should be at most a medium-sized gold mine with a daily output of 2,000, which is completely a drop in the bucket compared to the gold coin expenditure of Valena. But I didn't expect that it would be a super large gold mine right from the start. After occupying it, the number of gold coins increased by 10,000 every day. This is simply a very cool thing. How is the number of defenses? However, Qin Yan still asked. Knowing yourself and the enemy will win every battle. Intelligence can be said to be the most important thing. Qin Yan had seen countless players in his previous life. They clearly had a powerful army in their hands, but because of insufficient intelligence, they could only end up with hatred. He would not become arrogant because his subordinates were powerful in this life. Report to the Lord. After a brutal fight, the Centaur tribe has gradually gained control of the gold mine. The number is at least 5,000. Centaur rank. Elite level 3 level. LV10 attack power. 40-60 defense power. 30 HP. 5,000 magic value. 2,000 description. The upper body of the centaur is a human torso, and the lower body is a horse body. It is a cruel and violent monster. Elite level 3, plus a full 5000. Qin Yan carefully checked the properties of the centaur. No wonder they can occupy this super large gold mine. Lord Trishana asked. Do you want to fight? Fight! Of course. Qin Yan answered without any hesitation. It's just a level 3 monster, why not fight? Qin Yan glanced at Lanya beside him. After the battle, the sharp corners on its forehead became deeper, and the fur on its body seemed to have turned into armor. This made Qin Yan a little confused. Could it be that the additional function of the barracks self-advancing can also work for the Qin Yan wolf clan? Roar. And at this time, countless dull roars came from the dense forest behind him. That was the unique roar of the claw druid in the bear form. In the air, the horned eagles with flapping wings also slowly appeared. And on their backs, they all carried the elf girl archers. The combination of the two has increased their combat effectiveness by at least several times. Master, the follow-up troops are still coming. At this time, Trishna reported to Qin Yan. But Qin Yan noticed that her face was slightly flushed. After a little thought, he immediately understood. The elf tribe has just begun to rebuild. In just one night. Being able to produce such an elf army. To be honest, it is already very good. It's okay, Trishna. So, Qin Yan immediately spoke to comfort her. I'm satisfied. Yeah, thank you, Master. After comforting Trishna. The next moment, Qin Yan turned his head and looked towards the gold mine. Now, let's start the strategy. Chapter 68. Building K. Stable for people and horses, a halo of agility. This battle was still a one-sided crushing. In close combat, the centaurs were no match for the wolf cavalry. The spears they threw were also dodged by the horned eagles in the sky. The magic arrows shot by the elf girls could pierce their chests every time. It was a completely one-sided massacre. So strong. Qin Yan still remembered that when he was developing and building his territory in his previous life, he accidentally provoked the centaur tribe. Although he successfully resisted it in the end. But the battle still caused heavy damage to Qin Yan's territory. If it weren't for Qin Yan's amazing willpower, he might have been unable to recover from that time. But now 5,000 third-level centaurs disappeared in front of Qin Yan in just less than 10 minutes. And it wasn't until the end that the centaurs fled back to the stable, and then Brian and the others had to chase them one by one. Qin Yan felt that the time should be shorter. Ding dong. Your subordinates have successfully wiped out the centaur tribe. Congratulations to the player for obtaining the right to occupy the super large gold mine. At this time, the news of the victory of the battle also came. Without Qin Yan's instructions, Trishna, who had already understood Qin Yan's plan, immediately stepped forward and commanded the elf girls to start building a territory around the gold mine. Boom. Soon, the natural barrier rose up. It covered everyone. The shield protected and the breath was isolated. It is hard for anyone to imagine that the quiet forest with the characteristics of the elves everywhere is actually ruled by a human. At this time, the elves also started mining. Gold plus 10 exclamation mark. Gold plus 10 exclamation mark. Gold plus 10. It must be said that the elves have a strong advantage innately. The mining speed of the elves is at least several times that of the human migrant workers. And in addition, when the elves are working, they are also replenishing natural energy at any time. The comprehensive mining efficiency is much faster than that of other races. It's really a great pleasure to conquer the forest elves. At this time, Qin Yan noticed again. Under the bodies of the centaurs, in addition to a large amount of resources, there seemed to be several fragments of blueprints that were glittering. I wonder if they can be combined into a complete blueprint. Just the next second, when Qin Yan was guessing, a pleasant system sound rang in his ears. Ding dong. It was detected that the player already has 10 fragments of the same building blueprint, and the complete building blueprint has been automatically combined. Human horse stable 1. Human horse stable level. Platinum level. Basic function. Production acceleration. Can quickly produce centaurs for you. Basic function. Long distance raid. Can raid for a long time without feeling tired. Basic function. Spear reserve. Reserve more spears to deal a strong blow to a unit. Additional function. Centaur's leader. The centaur's stable can produce lead level centaurs, and will automatically replenish when the leader dies. Additional function triggered by the chosen son talent. Description. Can produce centaurs with leaders for you. It's actually a military building. After checking the properties, Qin Yan was slightly surprised. As the name suggests, a military building is a place that specializes in producing a type of military. The stable Qin Yan is building now is used to produce centaurs for players. In the previous life, if anyone could obtain this building blueprint in the early stage and produce a third-level troop like the centaurs, to be honest, they would be almost invincible. All it takes is one order. The centaur troops can easily flatten the territories of other players. And Qin Yan also has the god-level talent bonus of the chosen son. At present, this centaur stable can also produce centaur leaders, and every time the leader dies, the centaur stable will be replenished immediately. In this way, even other players also control the centaur troops. But their overall combat capabilities are far inferior to Qin Yan's. Centaur leader Clay, meet the Lord. At this time, golden light flashed in the centaur stable, and then a golden figure came to Qin Yan. Clay is a blonde beauty holding a bow and arrow. Her lower body is a straight horse body, and her upper body is also straight. The waist and arms are directly exposed, and the whole body exudes a wild breath. Clay level. LV1 race. Centaur. Race talent. Mobile shooting. The ability to run and shoot is extremely powerful. Race skill. Agility aura. The movement speed of the troops led on the battlefield increases by 30%. Yeah. Qin Yan also smiled and responded, "Welcome to join." To be honest, Clay's attributes make Qin Yan very satisfied. After all, Qin Yan thought no matter how powerful the leader is, in a war with tens of thousands of people, the number of enemies that can be killed will not be too many. Their main role is to command and let the soldiers under their command get their own attribute bonuses. And now Clay's racial skills fully meet Qin Yan's expected needs. The overall movement speed of the troops led is increased by 30%. What is the concept? You must know that the centaurs are originally creatures known for their agility. Now they get the movement speed bonus again. Maybe before the enemy has time to defend themselves, they will be cut into pieces bit by bit by the centaurs. Produce centaurs immediately. So, Qin Yan gave an order without opening his mouth. As soon as the voice fell, the light of the stable flashed continuously. Then one by one, strong and powerful centaur warriors emerged from it. The total population and comprehensive combat power of Valinor began to increase at an impressive speed. Speaking of which, I have always made plans based on the intelligence I had in my previous life, but I seem to have forgotten that Trisna is the one who has lived in the quiet forest the longest. Then, Qin Yan fell into deep thought again. Indeed, after rebirth and landing on the Empire continent, he relied on the intelligence he had about the quiet forest in his previous life to develop and build the territory. For example, the mithril vein that was captured before. It is the most precious information Qin Yan has. But to be honest, there are some things that Qin Yan is definitely not able to cover. Trisna. So after ordering the stable to start production, Qin Yan slowly came to Trisna and asked, "There should be more than one gold mine in the quiet forest, right? Master, as far as I know, there are at least 10 gold mines of all sizes in the quiet forest. So many? Yes. Seeing Qin Yan's surprise, Trisna couldn't help laughing. The quiet forest is a relatively rich place on the continent. But I think it's better to leave the attack on the gold mine to me. But then, Trisna said seriously. Gold mine is a small matter. Then what is the big thing? Master, I think this is what you need. Just when Qin Yan was wondering, pure natural magic emerged from Trisna's palm again. What was finally condensed and formed was actually a treasure chest. Chapter 69. Rare Building, Enchanted Altar. The treasure chest appeared, and a strong natural atmosphere immediately filled the air. The treasure chest in Trisna's hand was carved with delicate patterns on the surface, and the patterns flashed a faint emerald green light, which was very beautiful. Elf treasure chest attributes. After opening, you can get the mysterious treasure of the elves. Description. A treasure chest that can only be opened by the Elf King. Only the Elf King can open it. After reading the attributes of the treasure chest, Qin Yan was slightly surprised. He didn't expect that there was such a setting for the treasure chest. It seems that the meaning of the carvings on the surface of the treasure chest is not to look good, but to seal it so that people can't open it. But Qin Yan is not included. Because he just got the golden title of Elf King. Trisna must have sensed my identity as the Elf King, so she took out this treasure chest. And there is another point worth mentioning. The Elf King is also a special title, which is unique. After Qin Yan got it, other players have no chance to get it again. That is to say, only Qin Yan is qualified to open the treasure chest gathered in Trisna's palm. But just at this moment, the treasure chest in front of him suddenly vibrated on its own. Then, a pleasant system sound rang in his ears. Ding dong. The player's Elf King's identity is detected, and he is qualified to open the Elf treasure chest. Do you want to open it immediately? Sure enough. The pleasant system sound made Qin Yan feel happy. At the moment, he no longer hesitated and chose to open it directly. Open it immediately! Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for obtaining the rare complete building blueprint, Enchanted Altar 1. Enchanted Altar level. Platinum level. Basic function. Enchanted scroll. Can provide you with enchanted scrolls. Basic function. Equipment enchantment. Use enchantment scrolls to enchant equipment, and the user will get the corresponding attribute improvement. Basic function. Enchanted talent. When the attribute value of the enchantment reaches a certain level, the user will have a chance to awaken the corresponding talent. Additional function. Part enhancement. Originally, only weapons, chest armor and combat boots could be enchanted, but now, even gloves, wrist guards, cloaks and other parts can be enchanted. Additional function triggered by the god level talent of the chosen sun. Construction materials. Gold coins 5000, magic essence 1000. Description. It can enchant equipment and provide powerful attribute bonuses. It is a very precious and rare building, but the premise is that there must be a sufficient amount of magic essence. What was opened is actually a building blueprint ? And it is actually related to the enchantment process. After reading the building attributes, Qin Yan couldn't help but marvel in his heart. He knew more about the enchantment process in his previous life. This is an advanced professional skill with a very powerful effect. It is mainly manifested in defense enchantment, strength enchantment, agility enchantment and intelligence enchantment. But its effect bonus is stronger than magic potions. If you are lucky, there is even a chance to awaken talents. For example, the powerful endurance talent can permanently increase the recovery speed of health. There is also that talent of the cloak of agility, which can help players dodge a large number of attacks. Generally speaking, only when the player builds the territory to at least a castle will he have a chance to get in touch with the craft of enchantment. After all, it is something related to magic. Or you must have a certain status before you can have the qualifications to master it. So Qin Yan never thought he would actually get something related to the craft of enchantment from the elf treasure chest. And it was directly in the form of architectural drawings, and even the enchanter did not need to be recruited. Just put the equipment in and it can be enchanted continuously. How could Qin Yan not be surprised? And what's more powerful is that the enchantment altar I built can enchant even the secondary parts of equipment such as gloves, wristbands, and cloaks. The additional functions triggered during the construction process also make Qin Yan very satisfied. In short, Qin Yan can enchant more equipment parts than others. Under normal circumstances, the equipment parts that enchanters can enchant are probably only weapons, breastplates, helmets, boots and other key parts. And now Qin Yan can enchant more parts of equipment. So if the equipment level is the same, the strength of the army under Qin Yan's command is much stronger than that of others. As for the magic essence mentioned in the construction materials of the enchanted altar, Qin Yan once had a certain understanding. If I remember correctly, it seems that after killing the eye demon, there is a chance that the magic essence will burst out. Master, you're right. Upon hearing this, Trisna's eyes lit up. The magic essence required for enchantment is hidden in the bodies of those eye demons. Before the rays of those eye demons are fully developed, they need to spend several months or even a whole year to observe magic, and in the future, they will also explore ways to prolong their lives with magic. After a pause, Trisna continued to explain to Qin Yan. Because of this, the magic energy contained in their bodies is much richer than other creatures. Qin Yan. And this is the so-called magic essence, right? You are worthy at being Lord Qin Yan. As Qin Yan spoke, Trisna's eyes became more and more fiery, until the end, her inner reverence for Qin Yan was not concealed at all, and it burst out completely. Ahem, calm down. Touching Trisna's little head, Qin Yan opened the map under the latter's shy gaze, and then locked the shortest route to the dark swamp. That's right. The next place Qin Yan was going to was the dark swamp. To be precise, it should be the place where the two maps of the quiet forest and the dark swamp are connected. Because Qin Yan knew that the eye demons like to live in the dark region. And they would set up their nests near key passages to facilitate the plundering of adventurers and caravans. And if I remember correctly, after determining the route, Qin Yan ordered the army to set off. There seems to be such a cave where the quiet forest and the dark swamp are connected, which is the eye demon cave! Master, please allow Clears to follow you and let the centaurs kill the enemy for you. At this time, seeing Qin Yan preparing to leave, Clears immediately stepped forward and volunteered to fight. Okay, I agree. Qin Yan would naturally not refuse. He knew that the centaurs were warlike by nature. And there is one more thing. Qin Yan also doesn't want his subordinates to only have powerful attributes but no actual combat experience. What he needs is an elite force that can demonstrate strong combat power in any situation. After all, at this rate of development, the total number of troops under Qin Yan's command in the future is simply unimaginable. Chapter 70. Enchanted Scroll, Amazing Properties. With the blessing of Clear's agility aura. The centaur troops rushed to the front to clear the way for Qin Yan and others. The low-level evil monsters encountered on the road, such as bear monsters, wild wolves, etc., were directly torn into pieces at the moment of collision. This shows the centaur troops launched an attack at the same time. How amazing the lethality is. The group moved forward rapidly. Soon, the trees gradually became sparse, and the muddy swamp appeared below them. The thick black fog was lingering. Even if it was daytime now, the light could hardly penetrate. At the same time, a sharp system prompt sound also came to my ears. Warning. You have come to the edge of the quiet forest. If you continue to move forward, you'll step onto the dark swamp map. Stop. When the voice came, Qin Yan raised his arm and ordered, everyone look around and find the entrance to the Eye Demon Cave. Yes. Out, Qin Yan said, where the two maps are connected, there is a hidden Eye Demon Cave. The reason why he knew this information. It was because Qin Yan had led the army to station here in his previous life, and at the time there was news of a battle, saying that several soldiers were devoured by Eye Demons while patrolling this area. At the time, I was preparing for a war and didn't want to cause trouble, so I didn't come to trouble you Eye Demons. But now, it's time to take revenge. Hilly. At this moment, a strange cry came from his ears. Qin Yan looked over and found a 6-foot white sphere suspended in the air, with a bloody mouth full of fangs on it, but a closer look would reveal that there was a huge eye in the center of the sphere. It was the target this time, the Eye Demon. Eye Demon Grade. 4th level creature. Level. LV12 attack power. 60 AD defense power. 30 health value. 5000 magic value. 4000 talent. Shadow Flash. Can travel between shadows and appear in another location. Skills. Eye Ray. A beam of magic is emitted from the eyeball, causing continuous damage to the enemy hit. Description. Eye demons, also known as giant eye tyrants, believe that they are the most intelligent and powerful, enslaving or destroying all creatures that come to their nests, and usually belong to the lawful evil camp. I have to say, although the eye demon has the most deformed appearance, it may also be the most deadly creature among all powerful monster races. If there is no way to restrain it, then hundreds of thousands of magic beams are fired at the same time. Almost no one can compete with them. But fortunately, the troops under Qin Yan's command are very agile, and everyone becomes restless without Qin Yan's command. Charge. Boom. Boom. The earth trembles, and the momentum is amazing. The eye demons have been cut into pieces before they can escape into the shadows. At the same time, the elf girl archers also fired magic arrows one after another. Swoosh. 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 The big eyes of the eye demon are like targets. Each magic arrow can penetrate straight into the latter. Then completely destroy the latter's vitality. Suddenly, pleasant system sounds rang out one after another. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, you have successfully obtained Magic Essence 1! Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, you have successfully obtained Magic Essence 1! Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, you have successfully obtained Magic Essence 1! When the two sides met, the amount of magic essence suddenly increased. And at this time, alarmed, more and more eye demons appeared. The tensely packed eyes opened, which was extremely disgusting. Boom. But at this time, thunderclouds suddenly gathered in the sky. Black lightning. Then, black thunder fell from the sky. When it met the eye demons, the latter were instantly roasted into charcoal. And at such a terrifying clearing speed. Not long after, the pleasant system sound rang in my ears. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for successfully collecting 1000 units of magic essence and successfully obtaining the qualification to build the enchanted altar. So quickly collected. When the voice came, Qin Yan suddenly felt relieved. Originally, he expected that it would not take a particularly long time to clear the eye demon nest, but he did not expect it to be so fast. In less than 10 minutes, the 1000 units of magic essence required for the construction of the enchanted altar were all collected. And if it weren't for the fact that some eye demons didn't have enough magical energy in their bodies and couldn't condense the magic essence, Qin Yan felt that the collection speed would be even faster. At the same time, a pleasant system sound came. Ding dong. Do you want to build the enchantment altar immediately? Build. As the voice fell. The elves immediately began to build. Qin Yan could also feel that a strong magical aura was rapidly condensing in front of him. In the Empire era, as long as magic was mentioned, the words that came to people's minds were mysterious and powerful. The construction of the enchantment altar made the wolf cavalry restless. Qin Yan was also full of expectations. He also wanted to see how powerful the enchantment craftsmanship that many players dreamed of in their previous lives was. At this time, the enchantment altar was built. Then, the magic essence surged. Enchanted scrolls with different lights appeared, and the scene was suddenly filled with magic. Justice Judgment. Attack plus 10, carrying weight plus 20, suppression plus 20. Dawn Faith. Constitution plus 10, double resistance plus 20, damage reduction plus 20. Time Judgment. Agility plus 10, weakness plus 20, attack speed 20. Mind Sage. Intelligence plus 10, recovery plus 20, explosive damage plus 20. The enchantment effect is indeed extremely powerful. 4 enchantment scrolls correspond to the improvement of the 4 basic attributes. And on this basis, it also triggers additional ability enhancement. The two complement each other. If all the equipment can be enchanted, then the overall strength of the army will inevitably make a qualitative leap again. If the attribute enhancement of the enchantment scroll was exposed in the previous life, people would probably go crazy because of it. Turning off the scroll attributes, Qin Yan was secretly shocked. With the powerful attribute enhancement of the current enchantment process, those enchanters are definitely top level even in those magnificent empires on the continent. It is almost impossible for players to recruit them into their own territories. As for the architectural drawings related to enchantment, don't even think about it. After all, not everyone has the opportunity to obtain the title of Elf King. Start enchanting. Qin Yan no longer hesitated when he thought of this. As soon as the work fell, the magic scroll in the enchantment altar flew up automatically. Then it turned into a series of gorgeous rays of light and gathered towards the wolf cavalry. Helmet, breastplate, weapon, wrist guard, gauntlet, shoulder armor, knee pad, leggings, and more than a dozen parts such as combat boots, belt, ring, etc. The enchantment scrolls covered them all. At this moment, the Wolf Cavalry Corps, which was originally extremely fierce, surged again. Chapter 71. Wild Treasure Chest, Scarlet Blood Pool. But. The moment the enchantment scroll landed on the surface of the Wolf Cavalry's body, it quickly turned into pure magic energy and then imprinted into their bodies. All the equipment parts of the body all get the enchantment effect bonus. This is the power of Qin Yan's divine talent as the chosen son. Others can only enchant a few key parts such as weapons, chest armor, helmet, etc. But Qin Yan is different. All the equipment parts he can enchant. All these parts are superimposed. The enchantment attribute bonus obtained by Qin Yan's army is at least twice that of others, and it may even be higher. And at this time, the pleasant system sound came again. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, your subordinates have successfully awakened powerful combat talents after obtaining the enchantment bonus. When the sound sounded, Qin Yan immediately noticed that the bodies of his subordinates were all covered with a layer of light film. The light film has different colors, which represents different combat talents. Red represents strength. More courageous in battle. Strength will continue to increase with the duration of the battle. Yellow represents physical fitness. Strong endurance. Permanently improves the recovery speed of health points. Green represents agility. Agile cloak. Can help the user dodge a large number of attacks. Blue represents intelligence. Magic drainage. The magic attack caused can absorb the opponent's magic points. The 4 talents also correspond to the 4 major attributes. The effect amplification it provides is even more powerful. The light film on the surface of the wolf cavalry in front of him is mainly red and yellow, and close combat has been greatly improved. The elf girls are flashing with azure and emerald green light, and the magic arrows they shoot are becoming more powerful. And Qin Yan also noticed. In the battle information, the system sent a prompt again. System prompt. It is detected that the armor equipped by the player's army is made of mithril, and the equipment enchantment effect and combat talent will be implicitly improved. The magical affinity of mithril can finally be fully demonstrated. After reading the prompt, Qin Yan was stunned for a moment, and then he couldn't help showing joy. I have said it before. Even if it is a fist-sized mithril metal. After it was discovered in the previous life, it would also attract noble magicians from all over the continent to scramble for it. In this life, Qin Yan controls the entire mithril vein. All the soldiers under his command are equipped with carefully crafted mithril armor and mithril swords. The lethality and defense are comparable to the top. Now it has obtained the magic bonus of enchantment technology. The combat power displayed by the Wolf Cavalry Corps in the future will surely shock the entire continent. At this moment, Qin Yan's expression was full of confidence. He seemed to be able to imagine the scene of the Wolf Cavalry's iron cavalry stepping all over the continent of the Empire era in the future. At the same time, the soldiers also knelt on the ground at the same time. Thank you for the reward, Lord! Supreme Lord, we will be loyal to you forever! We will kill all enemies for you. The soldiers looked determined and expressed their absolute loyalty to Qin Yan. You are worthy of being the Supreme Lord. At this time, Trisna stepped forward to express her respect for Qin Yan, and then said, Master, I heard that there are many treasures in the Demon's Nest. You must not miss it. Of course. Smiling, Qin Yan took the lead and walked towards the Eye Demon's lair. Of course, Brian and the others had already opened the way for Qin Yan in front. The Eye Demon's lair is actually an underground cave that goes down. The cave is very deep. After walking down for a long distance, a huge square appeared. The square is extremely empty and there is almost nothing. After all, the magic beams fired by the Eye Demons are enough to decompose everything. But some things will still be preserved. For example, this black treasure chest that Qin Yan found. Ding dong. Found a wild treasure chest. Do you want to open it immediately? The wild treasure chest will be randomly refreshed in the wild map. Players have the opportunity to find wild treasure chests when exploring new maps or attacking the next monster's lair. But usually, the rewards are not very generous. Most of the treasure chests are just basic resources. If you are lucky, you can only get a few architectural blueprint fragments at most. Of course, Qin Yan has a huge luck bonus. Even the lowest level treasure chest has the opportunity to open precious treasures. Open. So, Qin Yan nodded immediately. As soon as the work fell, a dark light surged. Then the treasure chest opened, and a strong bloody smell came. What appeared in front of him was a blueprint with blood. Scarlet blood pool level. Platinum level. Basic function. Blood conversion. It can provide blood-sucking ability for attributes. When causing damage to enemy non-building units, it can absorb the enemy's health. Basic function. Ratio improvement. The health absorption ratio will increase with the increase of the building level, and the current ratio is 25%. Additional function. Blood contract. The lower the subordinate's health, the stronger the blood-sucking ability. Additional function triggered by the god-level talent of the chosen son. Construction materials. Gold coins 5,000, vampire fams 500. Description. It can enable that player's army to have a strong blood-sucking ability. It is a very rare and precious building blueprint, but the player must have a sufficient number of vampire fams to be qualified to build this building. It can actually allow soldiers to master the ability to suck blood. After reading the building attributes, Qin Yan couldn't help but look extremely surprised. This is the ability to suck blood. There is a saying that goes, 5 to support the war. Use the manpower, material resources and financial resources obtained from the war to continue the war. The blood-sucking effect is like this. When fighting with the enemy, you can restore your own health by causing damage to non-building units. Then you can continue to fight. And now. The building blueprint in Qin Yan's hand is to allow soldiers to have the ability to suck blood. And you must know. The blood-sucking effect provided by the Scarlet blood pool can continue to increase with the increase of the building level. Now the platinum level Scarlet blood pool can already provide a 25% blood-sucking ability bonus. What about the future? Diamond level, isn't it 30%? Legend level, isn't it 40%? Epic level, isn't it 50%? After obtaining the enchantment effect bonus, the overall lethality of the Wolf Cavalry Corps has been significantly improved on the original basis, and the attack speed can only be described as terrifying. When Qin Yan builds Valina into an invincible empire. Then the Scarlet blood pool is automatically upgraded to the epic level. When the Wolf Riders fight with the enemy, even if they're injured and lose blood, isn't it possible to restore it instantly with a few swish? This is, isn't it directly invincible? Chapter 72 Black Dragon Lair, signing a contract. And Qin Yan also noticed. The Scarlet blood pool also triggered the additional function of the blood contract. The lower the health of the subordinates, the stronger the blood-sucking ability. As long as the enemy is not strong enough to kill them instantly. After closing the attribute panel, Qin Yan's emotions still couldn't calm down for a long time. Then even if the Wolf Cavalry is seriously injured, they can still suck blood back little by little through fighting. In addition, the barracks have the function of self-advancing. During the battle, the soldiers even have a chance to advance directly. The survivability is simply terrifying. Congratulations to the Master for obtaining the treasure. Congratulations to the Lord. Brian and the others could also feel the powerful aura exuded by the blueprint in Qin Yan's hand, and couldn't help but congratulate at the same time. Yeah. Qin Yan also nodded with satisfaction. Indeed. After obtaining the blood-sucking ability. The overall combat capability of Qin Yan's army will achieve a qualitative leap. The casualty rate can also be greatly reduced. This is definitely something worth celebrating. And it must be mentioned. Qin Yan also has relevant information about the vampire fams needed in the construction materials of the Scarlet Blood Pool. If I remember correctly, there seems to be a vampire castle in the Shadow Swamp map, right? Putting away the blueprint, Qin Yan fell into deep thought. The Shadow Swamp map was a notoriously dangerous place in the previous life. Few players would leave the army to explore. Building a territory in it is even more impossible. Because even in the daytime, the swamp is filled with thick black fog, and the sun can't shine in at all. Only those ghosts can live in such a dark environment. Vampires are one of them. And it is worth mentioning. Their power in the Shadow Swamp is not weak. Qin Yan heard in his previous life that the vampires had built a castle in it and had a strict noble hierarchy system. It can be said that it is a very powerful force. It seems that we are going to fight a tough battle. Stretching, Qin Yan sighed softly. To create a Scarlet Blood Pool, a full 500 vampire fams are needed. If there were only one or two, Qin Yan would not necessarily choose to attack the vampire castle. But with so many, the Shadow Swamp must be visited. Boom. But at this moment, the ground suddenly trembled. No, it cannot be said that the ground. It should be said that the entire demon nest began to tremble. Then, a surprising scene appeared. The wall in front of Qin Yan suddenly began to collapse. What was revealed was not a deeper stone wall. But a secret passage. At this moment, a pleasant system sound came. Ding dong. After you opened the treasure chest, you accidentally triggered the entrance to the Black Dragon's lair. What? Black Dragon's lair? Did I hear it right? The system sound rang, and Qin Yan's eyes widened instantly, looking extremely shocked. Black Dragon. The top creature of the 14th level in the Empire era. A terrifying monster that is immune to all magic. It is truly a creature standing at the top of the food chain. In addition to the behemoths, titans, and high-level angels and demons, they are invincible. And now, what Qin Yan discovered is the Black Dragon's nest. How could Qin Yan not be shocked by this? Start exploring. Qin Yan gave the order without any hesitation. The cave is very deep. After 20 minutes of advancing, there is no sign of the end. This makes people feel that they're about to reach the ground. But at this time, a faint golden light suddenly appeared in the sight. This made Qin Yan speed up his pace. And when everyone walked out of the dark passage and really entered the nest, everyone, including Qin Yan, all were shocked by the scene in front of them and were completely speechless. In the center of the extremely wide cave, there is a dazzling dragon nest made of gold, with a huge dragon egg taller than a person. Black dragon egg status. Hatched. Description. A black dragon egg left here because of an epic battle. It is actually in a hatchable state. Even Qin Yan's breathing became extremely rapid at this moment. According to his original guess, this black dragon's nest should be an abandoned nest, with at most a few treasure chests, or some treasures, or even a pile of gold coins, which is also normal. After all, among the hundreds of millions of players in the previous life, no one has ever found any clues related to the dragon. So Qin Yan did not hold too much hope. But he never expected that there would actually be a dragon egg in the nest. And it was still in a hatchable state. At this time, a pleasant system sound came. Ding dong. Found an ownerless dragon egg. Do you want to contract it immediately? Is there any need to ask this? Contract. Without any hesitation, Qin Yan nodded immediately. Buzz. 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 As the voice fell. Suddenly, the huge black dragon egg in front of him began to tremble. Crack. Then, there was a sound of the eggshell breaking. Gurgle, gurgle. A small head covered with mucus came out of the dragon egg. This is a baby dragon, just born, and even the eyes are not fully open. Without any hesitation, Qin Yan immediately picked up the eggshell on the ground and put it next to the young dragon's mouth. Crack. Crack. After the young dragon ate the first eggshell Qin Yan handed over, it seemed to know that the eggshells around it were delicacies. Without waiting for Qin Yan to continue feeding, it opened its mouth and ate all the eggshells around it, and even licked all the mucus attached to the eggshells. After eating the eggshells, the little guy seemed to have strength. It shook its head, then opened its eyes and looked at Qin Yan. Qin Yan could also immediately feel the intimacy and tenderness in the eyes of the little black dragon looking at him. Gurgle, gurgle. The little guy called out, and then swayed towards Qin Yan, his obsidian eyes full of curiosity about this world. Just at this time. Suddenly, several crisp system announcements sounded over the Empire era continent. Ding dong. Server-wide announcement. Congratulations to player Qin Yan for becoming the first player in Age of Empires to sign a contract with a dragon creature. Reputation plus 10,000. X3. The system announcement was broadcast 3 times in a row, resounding throughout the continent. And then, another pleasant system sound rang in Qin Yan's ears. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player for obtaining a complete epic architectural blueprint, Dragon's Lair 1. The sound came, and suddenly, a building blueprint shining with brilliant golden light appeared in the Lord's space. But at the moment when Qin Yan opened the Lord's space, Yin. Suddenly, a deafening dragon roar came. Then a blood shadow burst out. It was the blood amber that Qin Yan first opened from the mysterious lucky bag. CSS Kushanda Western Novela on Canal Distinta Mundo Fanfic Novelas, Significat Lo Descarga and Y Super and Sinisfo Sot Invitamus Cordialmente visit our Newstro canal. Mundo Fanfic Novelas all encontras la versión original de esta historia y podrás explorar muchas otras novelas de diversos narradores. Te esperamos para sumergirte en mundo de novelas incredibles. Chapter 73. Earn the golden title again, Dragon God. Mysterious blood amber effect. Unknown. Description. Those who hold this blood amber will get unexpected opportunities. This is the attribute displayed by the system when Qin Yan first bought the mysterious lucky bag and opened this blood amber. And after checking the attributes. The surface of this blood amber is covered with a layer of blood scab, which makes it look plain and unpretentious. But at this moment. Just when Qin Yan opened the Lord's space. This blood amber burst out automatically from it. And during the flight. The blood scab fell off. The blood amber melted, and all the covering disappeared. Then a golden light appeared. What emerged from it was actually a golden scale. Yin. Accompanied by the earth-shaking dragon roar. Is this a dragon scale? Looking at the palm-sized, crescent-shaped golden scale floating in the air in front of him, Qin Yan's face was full of astonishment. But before Qin Yan checked the attributes. The next moment. This dragon scale turned into a brilliant golden light and then imprinted on Qin Yan's forehead. Then, a pleasant system sound rang in his ears. Ding dong. Congratulations to the player, you have obtained the only golden title, Dragon God. Boom. 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 The moment the system sound ran. A powerful force descended on Qin Yan and merged with Qin Yan. And Qin Yan also felt that the blood in his body was surging wildly at this moment. Along with the surging blood, a powerful breath gradually condensed in Qin Yan's body. And Qin Yan's body gradually floated in the air. In the end, he was suspended in the air without any external force. Yin. Then, the earth-shaking dragon roar sounded. Boom. A proud, sacred, and superior race-exclusive breath burst out from Qin Yan's body, and then spread out like ripples. Kakakakakaka. Wherever the breath passed, all things knelt on the ground. Even in the distant sky, the giant creature surging in the terrifying thunder bowed its noble head to Qin Yan. And in the magma of the Doomsday volcano, a pair of huge eyes slowly opened, and then the whole hot magma surged wildly. This is the blessing of the title of Dragon God. The moment the scale was imprinted on Qin Yan's forehead. The noble identity of the Dragon God has been combined with Qin Yan's fate. The entire Empire continent is no longer peaceful because of this. After a long time, Qin Yan gradually came back to his senses. I actually got the golden title again. Feeling the incomparable power in his body, Qin Yan couldn't help but look extremely shocked. He didn't expect that after the golden scale in the Lord's space was imprinted on his forehead, he actually got the golden title again. In the previous life, other players had never gotten the golden title even if they tried their best. In this life, he had only logged into the game for a few days, but he had already won 2 golden titles in a row. Even Qin Yan couldn't suppress his excitement at this moment. What shocked Qin Yan even more was that the title of Dragon God he had obtained seemed to be related to the Dragon Clan. That was the Dragon Clan. How could Qin Yan remain calm? So, without any hesitation, Qin Yan immediately chose to check the attributes of the Dragon God title. Title: Dragon God, Golden only, Attribute bonus. All attributes plus 5 level. Skill bonus. Dragon Lord, Dragon Regeneration. Dragon Lord. The blood of the Dragon God flowing in the body can greatly improve the attributes of all the dragons under the player. Dragon Regeneration. The blood of the Dragon God flowing in the body can permanently increase the player's upper limit of health by 500%, and can restore 5% of the maximum health per second. All attributes increase by 5 points per level. Restore 5% of the maximum health per second. The upper limit of health is directly and permanently increased by 5 times. It's so scary. After checking the attributes of the Dragon God title, even Qin Yan was shocked and speechless. And there is one more thing that must be mentioned. When Qin Yan first obtained the gold special title, the system also rewarded him with a phantom orb. In other words, Qin Yan can enjoy the bonuses provided by the two gold special titles of Elf King and Dragon God at the same time. Let us not talk about other things, just talk about attribute bonuses. The two titles together increase all attributes by 8 points per level. This will make Qin Yan's own strength become unprecedentedly powerful. In addition to his own bonus. Under the blood of the Dragon God. All the dragons under Qin Yan's command can get a huge improvement in all attributes. What does this mean? This means that the dragons belonging to Qin Yan, innately, have an irresistible suppression of other dragons. First of all, this means that Qin Yan has the ability and opportunity to build a legion of dragons. Secondly, the Dragon Legion under Qin Yan's command is the strongest legion even among the dragons. This is the power of the Dragon God's blood. And it is also unique. Qin Yan is the only one who can control the entire continent. Qin Yan's future prospects are simply limitless. Before other players enter the game, hurry up and build an indestructible and invincible empire, and then use this as a benchmark to conquer the entire Empire continent. At this moment, Qin Yan's inner plan was sublimated again. If Qin Yan still felt that the power he had was not strong enough when he conquered the elves. So now, the blood of the Dragon God flowing in his body. In addition, the little black dragon beside him is greatly improving in all aspects of attributes because of the exclusive skills of the Dragon Lord. 1 day. Qin Yan landed steadily on the ground, with a fiery light flashing in his eyes. I will eventually become the supreme overlord of the new era! Yeah. As if sensing Qin Yan's excitement, the little black dragon beside him also called out, which made people laugh. Then the attribute panel of the little black dragon also automatically appeared in front of him. Identity: young dragon. Gender: female. Age: young. Race: black dragon. Grade: 14th level. Level: LV1 health, 1000 magic value, 1000 attack power, 5100 defense power, 50 constitution, 20 strength, 20 agility, 20 intelligence, 20 racial talent, magic immunity, immune to all magic, and when riding, it can greatly enhance the magic resistance of player Qin Yan. Racial ability: black flame breath. Dragon breath will cause damage to enemies in the range, and the dragon breath contains dark energy, which can weaken the enemy's armor and cause continuous damage to the enemy. Owner: Qin Yan. Description: the black dragon that has signed a contract with player Qin Yan is immune to all magic, and has powerful basic attributes and growth attributes as well as black flame breath, and will automatically awaken more dragon abilities as the level increases. Chapter 74. Naming Evolution: Black Dragon Queen. It is indeed a top creature of level 14. The initial attributes of the little black dragon simply overturned Qin Yan's imagination. At only level 1, all the attributes are extremely powerful. And it is completely immune to magic and can spit out black flame dragon breath. And Qin Yan knows the various abilities of the dragon race will be greatly improved with age. In the Empire era, it is manifested as level. That is to say, as long as Qin Yan lets the little black dragon to continuously improve its level. Then the little black dragon is destined to grow into a terrifying dragon that will shock the entire Empire era continent. Not to mention this period at the beginning, even when the Empire era continent merges with the real world in the future and enters a turbulent new era, the little black dragon will definitely be at the top of the world. Closing the attribute panel, Qin Yan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. To be honest, the highest level soldier he had in his previous life was just a level 7 mountain giant. Although the size was quite amazing, to be honest, the attributes were not particularly top-notch. And Qin Yan couldn't let it go easily. Because there were many players watching from the side. If he wasn't careful, he might be plotted against by other jealous players. But in this life, looking at the small black dragon, which was small but powerful, Qin Yan clenched his fists. The black dragon is unstoppable at the beginning! Jigu. At this time, the black dragon seemed a little bored, and rubbed Qin Yan's arm, looking extremely docile. By the way, you don't have a name yet. At this time, Qin Yan seemed to think of something, thought for a while, and then said, "Then I'll call you Clay from now on, little black dragon." But. As the word fell. Suddenly, the little black dragon in his arms burst out with endless brilliant golden light. Although the size did not change much. But as the golden light surged. Qin Yan could clearly feel that the black dragon's aura became stronger and stronger. A crown appeared faintly on the top of his head. This is a change in temperament. The aura of a king is fully revealed. Then, a pleasant system sound also rang in my ears. Ding dong. Congratulations to player Qin Yan. After Clay obtained the name you gave her, she successfully evolved into Black Dragon Queen ? She actually evolved into the Black Dragon Queen. Qin Yan was extremely surprised when the voice came. He originally thought that after the little black dragon got a name, it should only get a certain attribute improvement. After all, the black dragon is already one of the top races in the Empire era. But who would have thought that Clay would evolve again and become the Black Dragon Queen? The next moment, the attribute panel after the evolution appeared again. Clay gender: female. Age: child. Race: black dragon. Identity: Black Dragon Queen. Rank: 14th rank. Level: LV1 HP, 2000 magic value, 2000 attack power, 8100 defense power, 80 constitution, 50 strength, 50 agility, 50 intelligence, 50 race talent, magic immunity, immune to all magic, and when riding, it can greatly enhance the magic resistance of player Qin Yan. Race ability: Black Flame Breath. Dragon Breath will cause damage to enemies in the range, and the Dragon Breath contains dark energy, which can weaken the enemy's armor and cause continuous damage to the enemy. Race Restrained. Facing other black dragons in the race, it can show unstoppable suppression. Ability exclusive. As the level increases, the exclusive ability of the Black Dragon Queen will be awakened. Master Qin Yan. Description: the Black Dragon Queen who signed a contract with player Qin Yan has an absolute dominant position in the Black Dragon race, and as the level continues to increase, more powerful exclusive abilities of the Black Dragon Queen can be awakened. Now, the plan to build a giant dragon army will be easier to realize. After seeing the attributes of Clay after evolution, Qin Yan was very satisfied. In short, after Clay evolved into the Black Dragon Queen, the main changes were manifested in 3 aspects. First, it is still the most important attribute. All attributes have been multiplied again. Compared with the mountain giant in the previous life, it is far better than the other ones in the previous life. Secondly, it is race restrained. After Clay evolved into the Black Dragon Queen, she could easily suppress other black dragons in the race. Even if the strength is not as good, this suppression still exists. In addition, Qin Yan has the exclusive skills of the Dragon Lord. That's why Qin Yan said that there is a greater hold to create a dragon army. In addition, as Clay's level increases, the exclusive ability of the Black Dragon Queen that she awakens is also unmatched by other black dragons in the race. This shows how powerful the Black Dragon Queen is. Clay. After checking the new attributes, Qin Yan's emotions finally calmed down. To be honest, the series of pleasant system prompts just now, and all of them are related to the work dragon, made him a little overwhelmed. After all, the status of the dragon race on the continent of the Empire era is really top-notch. Gurgle, gurgle. Hearing Qin Yan's call, the little black dragon nodded lazily, as if he was very satisfied with the name. And after eating the eggshell, the little black dragon has grown a lot. It is nearly 2 meters tall, taller than Qin Yan. Gurgle, gurgle. But at this time, the little black dragon stretched out 2 small claws, touched his belly, and then looked straight at Qin Yan. Qin Yan could also feel the resentment in the little black dragon's eyes. It is said that the wisdom of dragon creatures is amazing. This made Qin Yan sigh. Now it seems that it is really good. The attitude shown by the little black dragon is like a little lily who is acting coquettishly, which makes Qin Yan smile dotingly. Brian and others around him saw this scene, and their inner respect for Qin Yan reached an unprecedented level. Puff. The next moment, Brian took the lead and kneeling down to Qin Yan, and said from the bottom of his heart, "Supreme Lord, we offer your gift of loyalty." The voice sounded, and in an instant, one figure after another knelt down. Their expressions were pious, expressing their absolute loyalty to Qin Yan. Yeah. Smiling with relief, Qin Yan waved. "Get up. Okay, little guy, I know you are hungry." Then, Qin Yan touched the little black dragon's head again, and the latter rubbed his palm affectionately. "Let's go, I'll take you to find food." After that, Qin Yan took the lead and walking in the direction they came from. But the little black dragon beside him suddenly bit Qin Yan's clothes. Afterwards, under Qin Yan's surprised eyes, the little black dragon lowered his body directly in front of Qin Yan, and made a hesitant sound in his mouth. Ride, Chapter 75. Riding a dragon. "Do you want me to sit on your back? Is that okay?" Seeing this scene, Qin Yan was slightly moved. Riding a dragon may be something that all men in the world yearn for. After all, dragons are very noble creatures. Except for the owner who signed that contract, they will not bow their heads to anyone. And now such a precious opportunity is in front of Qin Yan. To be honest, it would be a lie to say that I am not moved. Jigu. But the little black dragon didn't care so much at all, and his little head kept shaking up and down, and Qin Yan could understand what she meant. This made the little black dragon very happy. Okay. In this case, Qin Yan had no reason to refuse, and he turned over and lay on the back of the little black dragon. But at the moment of sitting down, a dazzling light suddenly appeared. Buzz. 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 A series of dazzling golden lights burst out from Qin Yan's body. The entire nest was illuminated, and it looked radiant. But the next moment, unexpectedly, these countless brilliant golden lights suddenly gathered towards the little black dragon under Qin Yan. Boom. 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 A roar like a war drum sounded. The breath of the little black dragon surged at a speed visible to the naked eye at this moment. Yin. The earth-shaking dragon roar came. Although the body is still only about 2 meters, the powerful breath exuded by the little black dragon at this moment makes people want to surrender involuntarily. At this time, a pleasant system sound suddenly sounded. Ding dong. Affected by the skill Dragon Rider Dance, your mount has been improved overall. It turned out to be the effect of Dragon Rider Dance. When the voice came, Qin Yan couldn't help but look extremely surprised. He didn't expect that the Dragon Rider Dance skill would suddenly work at this time. And judging from the increase in the breath of the little black dragon. The skill effect of Dragon Rider Dance must be extremely powerful. Hoo. Hoo. At this time, the little black dragon roared to the sky again, spread its wings and fluttered a few times, then rushed straight to the top of the head. Hey, hey, hey. There are stones above. But before Qin Yan could shout, a shocking scene appeared. Roar. The little black dragon suddenly puffed up its cheeks while flying into the air, and then the earth-shaking dragon roar turned into air waves, and the black flame dragon breath spewed out. Sizzle. The stone wall and the dark flames met, just like the first snow put into a boiling furnace, and it began to melt instantly. Boom. The whole nest was shaking because of this. But the little black dragon was not satisfied with this. She flapped her wings and puffed up her cheeks again. The next moment, the terrifying dragon breath spewed out again, melting everything above. Boom. 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 It actually burned through the entire underground layer with dragon breath. Yin. After breaking through the last layer of the ground, the little black dragon did not intend to stop, and fluttered its wings and pointed straight to the sky. At this moment, the sky and the earth lost their color. The extremely fierce dragon power spread out in all directions with Qin Yan as the center. The earth shook, and the wind surged. All creatures along the way knelt on the ground. Everything was witnessing the birth of the king. Wah! Wah! In the air, Qin Yan felt the strong wind blowing on his face. After 2 lives, he stood at this height for the first time. Even Qin Yan couldn't suppress his excitement. In this life, everything will change! Master. At this time, Trisna also fluttered her elf wings and came to Qin Yan. Yeah. Nodding, Qin Yan asked with concern. Are you all okay? To be honest, the little black dragon's action just now made Qin Yan think that the underground world was going to collapse directly. After all, right under them, there was a large pit with a radius of nearly 5 meters on the ground, leading directly to the black dragon's nest hidden underground, and the length was at least more than 100 meters. If the violent vibration caused the Eye Demon Cave to collapse, it would be a bit funny. Master, we're fine. Trishana smiled and shook her head, then her expression became serious. Then let me explore the dark swamp and find that vampire castle. Okay, let's do as you say. After thinking for a while, Qin Yan nodded. But remember to come back and tell me as soon as possible if there is any situation. The dark swamp map is very large, and due to the terrain, it will definitely take some time to find that vampire castle. There is not much point in riding the little black dragon around in it. It is better to take advantage of the time to kill some low-level monsters in the quiet forest to improve the level and strength of the little black dragon. After Trisna and the others find that vampire castle. You can go there and take it away directly. Yes, Lord. After agreeing, Trisna led the army and began to march towards the dark swamp map. I believe that it will not take long before we can find something. Okay, I'll take you to find food now. Then, Qin Yan rubbed the head of the little black dragon under him, and the latter took the initiative to rub against him. Because of the contract, the little black dragon was extremely docile to him, and the dragon race's usual greed and brutality were not shown on Clay. Of course, this was only for Qin Yan. If the enemy dared to do so, then the little black dragon would definitely make them pay a heavy price. Soon, Qin Yan took the little black dragon into the dense forest. In his previous life, he had been stationed in the quiet forest for nearly half a year, and he was quite familiar with the regional distribution of some magic beasts. Not long after, a group of black bears appeared in front. This forest is my territory, and you can hunt all the magic beasts in it. Patting Clay's little head, Qin Yan warned. But you can't spit dragon breath to burn them, otherwise it will cause a forest fire, which will be very troublesome. Do you understand? Jigu jigu. The little black dragon patted his chest, as if to assure Qin Yan, which made people laugh. Of course, as the signatory of the contract with the little black dragon, Qin Yan would obey all his orders. But at this time, the black bear in the forest seemed to sense something and suddenly fled madly. Damn, so undignified? Is it a bear from the fighting nation? This scene made Qin Yan speechless. Roar. But at this moment, the little black dragon beside him rushed out directly and turned into a black shadow. In an instant, he accurately bit off the black bear's neck. Ding. The black dragon has successfully killed Black Bear 1 and gained 50 experience points. It's worthy at being a 14th level creature. Qin Yan couldn't help but sigh inwardly when the voice came. The little black dragon is only level 1 now, but the black bears in front of him are all level 5 monsters. But in front of the little black dragon, there is no chance to resist. The dragon clan is worthy at being a creature standing at the top of the food chain. Chapter 76 Bloodline Awakening, Dark Realm. With a breath of dragon's breath, the black bear's body was instantly roasted. After getting Qin Yan's permission, the little black dragon immediately started to bite. After getting energy replenishment, the little black dragon's body became stronger. This also made Qin Yan's heart full of expectations. The little black dragon's current attributes are already very powerful. And after she upgrades, how perverted will the exclusive abilities of the black dragon queen she obtains be? Let's go, continue hunting! Gurgle gurgle. In this way, in the following time, Qin Yan took the little black dragon to hunt in the quiet forest. What black bears, tigers, and other usually rampant forest predators are all a matter of one bite here with the little black dragon. Ding. Black dragon has successfully killed Black Bear 1 and gained 50 experience points. Ding. Black dragon has successfully killed Wild Wolf 1 and gained 50 experience points. Ding. Black dragon has successfully killed Tiger 1 and gained 100 experience points. As the pleasant system sound continued to ring in my ears. More and more experience points flowed into the body of the little black dragon. The upgrade speed was terrifyingly fast. In less than half an hour, the little black dragon had already reached level 5. At the same time, with the level increase, the size of the little black dragon was also constantly changing. At first it was 2 meters, slightly taller than Qin Yan. But after reaching level 5, the size of the little black dragon had reached a height of 5 meters, and there was no pressure at all to hunt even larger monsters. But. As a result, the upgrade speed of the little black dragon did not decrease but increased. The golden light flashed one after another. The size of the little black dragon became larger and larger. 2 meters, 5 meters, 10 meters. The little black dragon, which used to be almost as tall as Qin Yan, is now 10 meters tall, and its wingspan is nearly 15 meters. It has become a prehistoric beast. Crack. The sound of its neck being bitten off came. A brilliant golden light rose again under the little black dragon. Then, a pleasant system prompt sound came. Ding dong. Congratulations, your black dragon has been upgraded to level 10! I'm afraid Clay alone is enough to massacre the city. Qin Yan couldn't help but sigh inwardly when the voice came. And he also had a hint of expectation in his heart. Because the information interface shows. After the little black dragon reaches level 10, it will be able to awaken a racial ability. The dragon race, as a top creature of level 14, its racial ability is powerful, needless to say. Moreover, after Clay was given the name by Qin Yan, she also awakened to become the Black Dragon Queen, and her awakened racial ability is even more powerful than that of ordinary black dragons. How could Qin Yan not be extremely excited about this? Roar. At this time, the clear dragon roar startled the entire quiet forest. Feeling the dragon's might, all creatures knelt on the ground. This is the power of the ram. When a low-level creature faces a high-level creature, even with equipment and other bonuses, it is inevitable that all aspects will be suppressed. The little black dragon is a top creature of the 14th level. Except for a few creatures such as angels and titans. Other creatures almost can't muster the courage to fight it. Clay. Then, Qin Yan regained his mind and opened the map to find the location of the black dragon. Because it was a contractual relationship, Qin Yan could directly send her a message like other players. Come down and let me see your newly awakened racial ability. Roar. Soon, the little black dragon fell from the sky. After the raging wind, the huge body finally landed steadily. At this time, Clay was no longer the little black dragon. The originally slightly smooth flesh wings were covered with thick scales. The limbs also became extremely strong and powerful. The scales on the top of the head condensed into a crown. This made Clay look extremely noble. At this time, the pleasant system prompt sound rang in Qin Yan's ears. Ding dong. Congratulations, your little black dragon has reached the awakening level requirement. Awaken the racial ability immediately. System prompt. It takes a certain amount of time to awaken the racial ability. Please ensure the safety of the surrounding area in advance. Awaken immediately. When the voice came, Qin Yan nodded immediately. Just kidding. Sensing the dragon power emanating from Clay's body. The surrounding monsters have long been hiding somewhere, and there is no way they can get close to here. And now the entire quiet forest is almost all Qin Yan's territory. Even if an unknown enemy appears, his subordinates can arrive at the first time. So Qin Yan doesn't need to worry at all. Roar. At this time, as Qin Yan's voice fell, the little black dragon suddenly spread its wings and flew towards the sky. But before it fluttered a few times, it fell heavily again. Although there was no serious injury. But Qin Yan could see it clearly. When it fell, the painful look on the little black dragon's face. Come on, little black dragon. Qin Yan knew that this was a unique awakening method for the dragon race. It was like a bottleneck. After crossing it, the dragon blood in the little black dragon's body would become more and more rich, and thus grow again, not only improving the attributes, but also awakening the unique racial ability. More, it is a holistic growth. In short, as long as she can get through it, Clay will be able to break through and become stronger. Roar. At this time, the little black dragon gritted his teeth again, accompanied by a shocking roar, and suddenly spread his wings again. Bang. After a while, it suddenly fell heavily to the ground again. Hold on, Clay. Qin Yan looked at the little black dragon that kept flying up, but kept falling heavily, and clenched his fists to encourage. The more painful it is, the more it shows that you have unlimited potential. To be honest, although Qin Yan had never seen what the awakening of the top-level creatures was like in his previous life, he knew in his heart that the awakening process was painful, which means that the ability improvement obtained after awakening is stronger. As the Queen of Clay Black Dragon. As long as she can endure the baptism of the dragon bloodline of this time, she will definitely be able to undergo a complete transformation. Roar. At this time, after flying up and falling dozens of times, the painful expression on the little black dragon's face finally eased, and then, accompanied by a terrifying roar, it suddenly rushed into the sky. Boom. 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 The terrifying explosions came one after another. Then, the little black dragon's heavy wings suddenly opened, like two dark clouds. And in the winds, a group of thick black mist rushed out, as if it could directly devour the soul. And Qin Yan also noticed that there was a faint starlight flashing in the black mist, and its energy was rich enough to make any creature tremble. Then, the pleasant system sound came at the right time. Ding dong. Congratulations to player Qin Yan, your black dragon has successfully awakened the racial ability, Dark Realm. Fin est captulo much as great as Pelaga has to el final. No esse olviden de dull like busgasms contenido exclusivo ixo in medito. Si scribata news patreon. Recurada, carda like, si scripsino donaking nos anima continued. Great as a todas nos vemos on elpsmovdo.